Magazine. Joined by Beau Bradley from GrowActive Solutions, answering all of your questions about hydroponic growing at home. Tonight's episode is hosted by the guys from Hoosier Sophisticate. Check out Hoosier Sophisticate Monday nights at 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Follow along with Hoosier Sophisticate for all the latest and greatest in cannabis and psychedelic content. Tonight's production is brought to you by Mycelial Media. Your business needs unique content in order to engage its customers. This is where Mycelial Media comes in. Email Twain, Twain, at mycelial.media for all of your custom creative content needs.
The Missouri Cannabis Industry Association is a proud sponsor of the Grow at Home series by Evolution Magazine. Hi, my name's Eric McSwain. I'm the chairman of the board for MCIA. We're striving to encourage the largest, most robust cannabis industry that we can realize in Missouri and believe that this industry should be of Missourians and for Missourians. The industry we envision would allow for a diverse variety of locally owned businesses to facilitate access to quality medicine at affordable prices. MCIA recognizes the value of the patients and caregivers that truly make up the core of the industry and would like to see you add your voice to our cause by becoming a member. Check out mocia.org for more information on membership, rates, benefits, and discounts. Stay tuned for our presentation later this month regarding the launch of our Certified Caregiver Program and our discussion of key legal concepts that affect you. We'll have this discussion with Parkini Law and hope to see you there.
Parkini Law is your leader in emerging legal, corporate, and tax strategies. Parkini Law has partnered with Parkini CPA to offer you a full-service legal practice with accounting support. They are here to help you grow. To protect your safety, the firm is completely virtual, meaning you never have to leave the comfort of your home or office. They do it all, from tax strategy to litigation. The firm is your local Missouri leader in emerging practice areas and industries. Call 816-600-1005 or visit parkinilaw.com to schedule your free consultation today. Thank you, stay safe, and keep growing.
Taproot Agriculture is your answer for everything hemp. We bring years of experience in the hemp industry to help you from seed to sale and everything in between. We provide consulting, equipment rental, farming supplies, organic certification, and certified Missouri Department of Agriculture hemp sample testing. We have you covered with seeds, clones, and propagules to help you flourish in your hemp grow, whether it's for an indoor, outdoor, or greenhouse cultivation. Taproot Agriculture, providing the stability with knowledge and experience to help you grow your own roots in the hemp industry.
Mo Green Card is a Missouri-owned and operated medical cannabis clinic specializing in telehealth, where patients enjoy the comfort of their own home or office for video appointments with their highly qualified physician. Evaluations start at $115, and they provide additional application services to all patients, not just their own, and they work with patients of all ages. You must be a valid Missouri resident with one or more qualifying conditions. No medical records required, but they will need your medical history and diagnosing physician's name for mental health qualifications. Visit online at mogreencard.com, like on Facebook, follow on Twitter at mogreencard, and give them a call at 855-696-5022. Their friendly team is available from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Tonight's giveaway are two $50 gift cards to GrowActive Solutions. All you have to do is tag a friend and add the word GROW to the comments. We're also giving away one free medical marijuana certification from Mo Green Card. Tag a friend and add cert to the comments. Good luck.
So stay tuned, and our show will begin shortly. Please take a moment to acknowledge our network affiliates and streaming affiliates across the state of Missouri. The Home Grow series is made possible by the cooperation of many groups coming together to provide an educational platform for the community. We'd like to thank all our affiliates and sponsors, and we'll feature different groups each week. Thanks for watching and for getting involved with your Grow community. Welcome to the Evolution Magazine's Home Grow series. It is July 9th, 2020, and our live show will begin at 7 p.m.
It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. Steve likes the weed. Steve likes the weed. Tell you about DMT. The DMT. Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Hoosiers with the dream, sophisticated blasphemy. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. Question all the things that you know. So let's set our minds free for the singularity. It's the Hoosier Sophisticate Show. The Hoosier Sophisticate Show.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's Stay at Home Grow series presented by Evolution Magazine. We're joined by Beau Bradley from GrowActive Solutions, answering all of your questions about hydroponic growing at home. Tonight's episode is hosted by the guys from Hoosier Sophisticate. Check out Hoosier Sophisticate Monday nights at 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Follow along with Hoosier Sophisticate for all the latest and greatest in cannabis and psychedelic content. Tonight's production is brought to you by Mycelial Media. Your business needs unique content in order to engage its customers. This is where Mycelial Media comes in. Email Twain, Twain, at mycelial.media for all of your custom creative content needs.
The Missouri Cannabis Industry Association is a proud sponsor of the Grow at Home series by Evolution Magazine. Hi, my name's Eric McSwain. I'm the chairman of the board for MCIA. We're striving to encourage the largest, most robust cannabis industry that we can realize in Missouri, and believe that this industry should be of Missourians and for Missourians. The industry we envision would allow for a diverse variety of locally owned businesses to facilitate access to quality medicine at affordable prices. MCIA recognizes the value of the patients and caregivers that truly make up the core of the industry, and would like to see you add your voice to our cause by becoming a member. Check out mocia.org for more information on membership, rates, benefits, and discounts. Stay tuned for our presentation later this month regarding the launch of our Certified Caregiver Program and our discussion of key legal concepts that affect you. We'll have this discussion with Parkini Law and hope to see you there.
Parkini Law is your leader in emerging legal, corporate, and tax strategies. Parkini Law has partnered with Parkini CPA to offer you a full-service legal practice with accounting support. They are here to help you grow. To protect your safety, the firm is completely virtual, meaning you never have to leave the comfort of your home or office. They do it all, from tax strategy to litigation. The firm is your local Missouri leader in emerging practice areas and industries. Call 816-600-1005 or visit parkinilaw.com to schedule your free consultation today. Thank you, stay safe, and keep growing.
Taproot Agriculture is your answer for everything hemp. We bring years of experience in the hemp industry to help you from seed to sale and everything in between. We provide consulting, equipment rental, farming supplies, organic certification, and certified Missouri Department of Agriculture hemp sample testing. We have you covered with seeds, clones, and propagules to help you flourish in your hemp grow, whether it's for an indoor, outdoor, or greenhouse cultivation. Taproot Agriculture, providing the stability with knowledge and experience to help you grow your own roots in the hemp industry.
Mo Green Card is a Missouri-owned and operated medical cannabis clinic specializing in telehealth, where patients enjoy the comfort of their own home or office for video appointments with their highly qualified physician. Evaluations start at $115, and they provide additional application services to all patients, not just their own, and they work with patients of all ages. You must be a valid Missouri resident with one or more qualifying conditions. No medical records required, but they will need your medical history and diagnosing physician's name for mental health qualifications. Visit online at mogreencard.com, like on Facebook, follow on Twitter at mogreencard, and give them a call at 855-696-5022. Their friendly team is available from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Try it now, bud.
Right
right.
now. Oh, okay. Well, just to reiterate, Craig was on tilt when the camera wasn't working. Now finding out that our microphones were working as well.
Absolutely.
We'll never say a sour thing about Mike ever again, because Mike is usually our guy sitting in that cockpit. I'm kidding. I'll talk shit on that guy all live long day long.
Oh, yeah?
We actually could have used you here tonight, Mike. I don't know what happened. We were texting. I said, come over, please. Craig can't handle it. And Craig, you said you texted him and told him you
keep his ass at home.
he told me to keep his ass.
He's got this.
He's like, I got this under control right here. He's dismantling our camera behind the scenes. But tonight, it's not about us. It's not about Hoosier Sophisticate. It's not about how our community has lifted my spirits more than they'll know. In my grumpiest of states, they helped me through it. So I love you guys so much. All you guys tuning in. But tonight, it's about Beau Knows Hydro. If you haven't heard the song before, Craig forgot to get that in the system before we We were like, hey man, you might want to get that song in the system.
It's in there.
Oh, is it?
Oh, it's in there.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll hear that.
Inside of the computer, so
It's
we're
somewhere in the computer. So we're going to
love
get
you,
to
Craig.
that. We love
Yeah.
Craig. We give
Yeah.
him trouble because he's usually, he's a face. He shouldn't be behind there. Like
No.
he doesn't have the mind.
He's
for
too
it.
pretty.
Yeah, exactly. He's got to be out here.
Yes.
Look at those chiseled features. He's doing triangle face right now. I wish we had a camera on him. We don't. We don't have a camera on him. But tonight it's about Beau. It's about Evolution Mag. It's about all the other people who are helping cultivate a grow community in Missouri, which that's what we need to do. Everyone get your cards. Everyone get caregivers if you can't grow yourself, and everyone attempt to grow yourself, because talking to Beau, he's made it so easy, and tonight he's going to let us know about the drip system. Hit us with it, Beau.
Yep. Yeah. So I figured tonight that we should go over the drip system. So we've been talking hydroponics, right? So
Hydro
for people
101.
who've just tuned in for the first time, we've done hydroponics 101, done hydroponics 102. Basically in the first one, I just went over the basics, showed off a couple systems. In hydroponics 102, we went a little bit deeper into like nutrients and stuff like that. And then now, I figured that we should kind of hone in on one system. And I figured that the drip system would probably be the best one to go with, because it's kind of like it's the next elevated system to the deep water culture system, in my opinion. Yeah. Especially in Hydroponics 101, we talked a lot about deep water culture because a lot of the viewers out there are doing deep water culture systems. That's definitely the number one homemade hydroponic system that there is out there. It's just the easiest to get into. A couple quick air stones, an air pump, a Rubbermaid container, some net pots. You're growing your own cannabis in no time. All right. So I wanted to go into drip because, again, drip is kind of that next step, right? Into hydroponics. The other cool thing is that that a lot of people should know is that, especially in a lot of these hydroponic commercial growing facilities, the pros, right? This is what they're doing. So
This is what the professionals are doing.
Yeah.
You consider yourself a pro?
No.
You're a pro.
I'm a student. I'm a student.
He's too humble. That's what I love about Beau. He's worked his ass off to get to a point where he has enough information that he's willing to talk to a couple jackals who can't get cameras to work and talk to you people about how to grow medicine on your own. It's a huge deal. Even if it's not directly affecting you, it could affect someone you love, and education is the keystone of everything we're trying to do with the community, everyone who I'm sure comes in your door. And yes, we're going to have people who do huge professional grows, and that's fine. And I actually asked on our page, like, how will you choose a dispensary? How will you choose how to consume marijuana now that it's legal and, it's still regulated? How are you going to navigate that? And the answers I got that I really enjoyed were like, I'm not going to any dispensary.
Amen.
Because I'm not giving them a dollar of my taxes while people are still locked in cages. And across the border in Kansas, it's like, whoa. And those people in Kansas City, they're like, yeah, don't cross State Line Road or whatever that is. And that's State Line Road. I'm like, get the frick out of here, man. Like, How are we going to create these imaginary boundaries on medicine? So education is going to be the key point in annihilating all of the bull crap, the average smoker, all of the anxiety the average medicator has had to go through for the last however our parents' generation, if you were smoking back in the day, you were getting hassled. Now we're like, hey man, I got a suit on. You want to smoke this pen from my company? I got no problem with those people. We need all types.
Absolutely.
But the more we educate people, like the way you're educating people on how to grow, and I'm talking you can grow high quality medicine. And that's the deal. All these growers like yourself and people who are well versed in this world are so willing to not give up their knowledge, to help people grow themselves, not only growing cannabis, but growing as a person, making more thoughtful choices, man.
Yeah.
So I can't wait to learn about the drip system, brother. Let's do this thing.
Nice. So I guess just to kind of give you guys a real quick.
They
you guys
probably
can
can't see. They can't see this, can they? Oh, they can.
Oh.
This camera's barely. I'm sorry. We're like I said, we're using 4K. Craig sabotaged
def.
that. Yeah, high def. Fucking 3D. Usually we have
Yep.
3D. Whoa! Fucking get you. I'll get you.
But not tonight.
Hey, settle down back here. Settle down back here. It's too much. It's too much.
So, real quick, this is a real quick overview. Now, one of the things you guys are going to see a lot tonight is me basically. I stole a lot of this stuff from this company, Floraflex's website, and off of Google. Floraflex is an irrigation company. Floraflex.
Okay.
And they're an irrigation company.
Craig tagged them in this.
And they make some really kind of easy systems. And you guys will see what I'm talking about here in a minute. But again, I just took this right off of their website. So I also kind of have to read it a little bit while we're going over this.
This isn't you color coding this, because I was going to say, man, the black and green looks good on here. Did you just kick our camera?
I might have just kicked the camera.
No. I need to be centered on this.
Okay. Sorry about that, guys.
Okay, yeah, well, I'm up in your ass up here. Sorry about
Trying to
that.
end the show early tonight.
Kick it over! That's our last camera, bro. Craig's really going to lose his damn mind after that. Okay,
All right.
we're dripping.
So, drip
dripping.
systems are one of the most widely used systems in the world. You know, as you can
Just for growing anything?
Yes, yeah. Because a lot of it's simple irrigation. So even a lot of big agricultural farms run on some type of irrigation system, right? So this is a system that's just going to deliver water, sometimes nutrients, directly to your plant's roots, right? Okay. So, yeah, well, that's basically what this says, is that drip systems are really great in the sense of, for the beginner grower, in that you can pick whatever you kind of want to do. Again, you can set up a drip system and you can run completely hydroponically. You can set up a drip system to water your soil containers. You can also set up a drip system to run cocoa. So it's just a way of automating your water system that you're going to be giving to your plants, right? So it just takes a lot of that time and energy out. So how do drip systems work? Drip systems work. Well, okay, so this first sentence says that drip systems aren't for beginners, which I will...
Aren't for true beginners.
Yes.
Are you a true beginner? What does that even mean? That's like Mizzou. Are you a true son? Are you a true son? You are. You're always. He's the truest son there is. That's horrible.
What I say
The name?
No Kansas molasses around here, dude.
What I say a true beginner is that you, in my personal opinion, this is what I recommend to everybody in my shop that comes in, right?
Okay.
They're saying, hey, I'm a new patient. I got my cultivation license, right? So I want to grow some cannabis. So I always tell people to start off in soil. Because we all have gone through and grown a plant in soil, right? Whether that's out in the garden when you're a kid, you're working with mom and grandma, whether you're, whatever.
Or dad and grandpa. Let's not be,
absolutely. Not sexist here, right? Sorry, Steve.
Oh,
Sorry.
jeez. No, I'm kidding. My dad would never do that bullshit. Am I right, fellas?
That was just my experience, mom and grandma.
Yeah,
right?
no, mine too.
And so everybody's growing
Anyone can do
something
anything.
in soil, right? And so it takes a lot of the variables out when you're just starting off. So that way you're not learning about hydroponics. You're not learning about this, that, and the other thing.
It's new.
Yeah, you can focus in on your soil, and you know what you're doing.
And hydro, like I said, it kind of sounds like hydroponics. I can barely grow up a house plant. How am I ever going to do hydroponics?
Hydroponics.
Hydroponics.
Yep.
I failed that in 7th grade. I'm not going to do very well growing pot.
So that's where the true beginners comes in. I always recommend everybody to at least grow one plant in soil, right? And then that way when you make the switch over to hydroponics, really all we're doing is figuring out a new way to give your plants water, that you don't have to focus on that day in and day out watering your plants. So a drip
That's
system,
nice.
again, just does that, automatically. So although they have a high level of control to the amount of water and nutrients that you can give to the plants, some factors can be forgotten. And that is something that I completely agree. So grow at least one plant there in soil and then keep going. And then get into your hydroponics. So that also brings up that drip systems are versatile, again, just in how you can grow things and even what you can do with them as far as the system goes. So you can also have them be recirculating or non-recirculating. So
can you grow plants like a cannabis plant and then a companion plant in the same deal and keep them all kind of, like people have been talking about companion plants that like pest. I've been seeing posts about, I have this pest, and they're like, grow some lavender or something next to it. Now, can you keep all these on one system? How many plants can you run on one?
Well, so that's really the cool thing is depending on the type of drip system that you're going to set up, it's just another like piece of irrigation.
Gotcha.
Right. So whether you're using drip stakes and emitters, which I'm kind of not going to be going over those too much in this one, just because that's really taking that to like that professional
level. I'm a true beginner.
Where this is, well, you'll see what you can do with the system that I'm going to talk about. So, yeah. So
I gotta center myself a little bit. Okay.
So in the recirculating or non-recirculating, that means your nutrients. So are we going to continually recirculate this nutrients from the reservoir to the plants and then recirculate it back into the reservoir and keep reusing those nutrients? Or are we going to run what's called a drain to waste system, which is where you pump the water into the plants one time.
Well, do you drink your own urine, Beau?
No, I do not.
Then why would... Oh, you don't?
No. Where are you going to go with that? Why?
I was just saying the circulating system is a lot like drinking your own urine. If you want to keep all them nutrients, that's what you do. You know what I mean?
That's how that works.
If you want to keep all the nutrients, the good ones.
I don't know.
Your kidneys are going to get everything the first time.
I don't know enough about this to dispute it.
We'll talk. We'll get a doctor on the show next week.
Yeah. All right.
Cool. Well, go on.
But anyway, recirculating can be way more economical, right? So if we're able to take that wastewater and to keep recirculating it, and that's what we do with a lot of other hydroponic systems out there, is that they recirculate, right? And that's how they become really efficient.
Okay.
And
how much are you losing on the first pass if you have 9 plants in there and could you have them at various stages in your system?
Well, that's going to depend on your reservoir.
This guy. Okay. All right, cool. Well, I'll wait to get to that because I have a feeling you might be answering that question the further we go on.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then, so a recirculating system would work just like a normal hydroponic system. The water would go up into the plants, drain back down into your reservoir, and then you would keep reusing it.
Because it's not taking all the nutrients the first time through.
No. But then you can also run drain to waste. Drain to waste is exactly that. You're going to run the water into the plants one time, and then it's just going to go to waste.
That's for some elitist bullcrap right there, right?
Not really.
It's elitist bullcrap. You heard it here first from Beau. Beau said that. Beau's like, no, man, use a bunch of nutrients. I sell them 896-1422. Give me a call. I just gave out a fake number online. Call that and prank them and tell them I sent you. So what are
drain to waste?
What's the benefit?
So the benefit is that I don't have to worry about any pathogens or anything that could be contaminating that water while it's being recirculated.
Okay.
Everything's always getting something that's fresh. And then what I do is I adjust the amount of time that my drip system turns on for. So whether that's 20 seconds or 30 seconds, I have a timer set to that's going to turn my pump on, or whether it's a minute, I can control the amount of runoff just by the sheer amount of time that I turn the system on.
Wow. Okay.
So I usually have less than 10% runoff at the end of the week. And my plants are always getting something fresh. So I start with a 20-gallon reservoir, and I only get 2 gallons of waste by the end of the week. So
Okay.
it's really super dialed.
That's efficient.
Yes, it's super dialed in so that way.
And
again,
they're
it's-
getting plenty. They're getting exactly what they need.
yes, and always
That
fresh.
seems wild. That seems like a wild little algorithm you're running there.
No,
my man.
it's quite simple. You just get a measuring cup and you turn on your timer and you see how much comes out in 10 seconds, and then you can multiply that.
Hey, see, I told you. Mathematics man over
Yep.
here. Sorry, we're not all scholars, Beau, okay? I didn't make it past the 3rd grade. I
You've got
never
an advocate.
learned
You
to
can
read.
figure this out.
I can figure it out. No, that's what use your brains
Or
a
you can
little
call
bit,
me.
people. Like, geez
Yeah.
Louise, man. It's not that tough. Beau can do it. For the
Absolutely.
love of God, man.
I can do it.
Yeah,
You can do it.
come on, man. No, if you're only getting that much what is the waste at the end? Just water and nutrients? Just,
exactly. Just that wasn't absorbed.
And you don't reuse that just because you have so little. Now, say if you had more, would you be more prone to reuse it if you came out with 10 gallons out of your 20? Or do you know something is wrong with your system, it needs adjustments?
Hey, that's the key right there.
Okay.
Is that now again in a recirculating system, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Right? So
Just
you
keep
can just
going.
keep going and keep going and keep going.
What's the likelihood of pathogens or weird stuff getting in there?
I mean, that depends on you. That depends on
Really?
your cleanliness. That depends
Okay.
on
What
just
are going
all
to
of
give you
those
that? Like
factors.
when you bring stuff in from the outside world into there?
Yep. Or maybe you're over a buddy's grow, or maybe one of the seeds. So this is also where drip systems could not be for true beginners, because if you're starting from seeds, right? Seeds can be all different, right? So each seed is essentially a different child of 2 parents. So you're in that 10 pack of seeds that you're getting 10 different kids. They might look alike, they might have a family resemblance, right? But they're all one's going to grow taller, one's going to grow shorter, one's
And
going
you
to be
bury them all in soil.
Yep.
Where's this guy going with this analogy?
But they're going to eat at different amounts. They're going to grow
Yes.
at different speeds, right?
It's
and
true.
so you could have one that's shooting up and needs water, more frequently than one that's in the back corner and it's small, and then maybe you get a little bit of root rot because you're compensating for that one that's in the front that's drinking everything,
Yep.
while the one in the back is getting overwatered.
And then you have a favorite, and then you have a one you kind of forget about that never really amounted to anything. And then you got the black sheep of the family. And then,
Yep.
I get it, man. I'm growing
I come from
weeds
a
right
family.
now.
We all hit
I'm
those
growing
labels.
weeds. Man. This weed growing's hitting a little close to home this week, man. No, that's
So-
interesting because you got to really be in tune. A lot of people I know who are caregivers are I'm like, hey, man, you want to come over for a weekend? And they're like, no, I got to make sure my system is working properly and making sure everything's good because things can change. How quickly can things change? Is it taking, because I assume the bigger they get, they're going to be taking more.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you got to adjust how much adjusting is there going along your cycle?
So in my cycle, none. Actually.
Get out of here.
So I set my irrigation system up in my flowering room. I don't have one set up that's in my vegetative room. So
Okay.
I get everything to a certain point. So everything's all the same size. They're all drinking the same amounts. And then they go into a bloom room that is then automated.
Okay. That's like, you're like the CRISPR doctors from China who are making all the babies exactly the same.
Yes.
Instead of letting them be themselves. And growing.
Absolutely.
Cool. That's cool. CRISPR. Look it up. It's wild shit. It's wild
Because
shit.
it's about consistency, right?
Yeah.
In the grow, right? Whether you're
Because if you
growing-
can lock that down, woo, buddy.
Exactly.
That's a nice little deal.
Yep.
Because then you're not hands off, but a lot of the worry and anxiety is taken out of the mix, where you're not like, oh, is it drinking, getting enough? Is it doing this enough? Is it doing? No, I know it's dialed in, and these babies look healthy.
Yes. And what
Question from the text
Yeah.
line
Have you
here.
been watching that
Yeah, I have.
at all?
What frequency do you drip? Is it like a gallon per hour kind of thing?
So no, I don't run off of gallons per hour because I don't think that that's an easy way of explaining things to people. So I run off of more milliliters because different growing mediums It's all going to have different absorption. They're all going to drink differently. So again, you can have a soil plant in a drip system. You can have a cocoa plant. You can have a straight hydroponic plant in a drip system. So with the gallons per minute, right, the reason why they make different ones is to accommodate different size plants, different mediums, different environments. And so I personally, with the containers that I use, I go for 200 milliliters per cycle that I'm irrigating.
Okay.
So that's about 2.5 cups.
Okay.
That's what I'm looking for. And I use about a 3/4 gallon, 1 gallon container, which is very small for people out there watching. A lot of people are going in 3s and 5 gallons. But I just have it turn on at a frequency. So like my irrigation system runs 30 seconds 5 times during my light cycle. And so they're going to get 200 mils per irrigation cycle. So over the course of the day, 1 liter would be going through my plants. So,
Not too shabby.
Yeah, and now I grow in straight cocoa. Now
1 liter is a liter bottle.
Yes.
Like a 2 liter bottle is like a 2 liter bottle.
Yeah.
No matter what you put it.
Okay, why don't you focus on the camera? A liter of cola is not a large pharma.
Does this look like spit to you? Oh, fuck it.
So, little super trooper for you guys.
Don't tell them. I'll steal their jokes all day long. I'll steal what's going on here. No,
So,
you're getting a little close. You're getting a little
So yeah,
close
so
to
that's how I like to explain it to people, is more in the milliliters rather than in the gallons per hour. Now, when we get into granted, we can get into gallons per hour, but we need to really start talking some in-depth stuff. Again, what's your environment like? What medium are you using? Different things like that. How big are you growing your plants? How much water do you like to give your plants, so that we can do the math to figure out how many gallons per hour we need to hook up, and get flowing through this pump, so that your plants actually get those gallons of hours that are actually required. So,
different seeds growing at different heights. Are you experiencing that this is a set it and forget it method for you, even with different seeds and clones or whatever, however the Immaculate Conception period is happening for, however germinating, whatever god dang crap they're making us say now on little radio. We're not radio. But are you noticing that, is there adjustment from seed to seed? Like, oh, this one's really bushy and a thick plant. This one's really kind of tall and narrow leaves. Is it going to work across all systems, or are you going to have to nail it in after that?
No, so actually, more or less, all of my plants get that same schedule.
Yeah.
No matter what kind I'm growing. Number one, because I'm using the same medium, I'm using the same size pots. I make sure that container, that pot, is full of roots, and that I'm getting them onto a cycle. They all need water at the same exact time, because essentially they're getting root bound.
Now, are they getting used to that? Like, like when your dog knows when you get home, they're like, oh, you're going to feed me. Like, do they almost get into the cycle of being like, Beau, we're hungry? You know what I mean?
So that's where, I guess, the setting of your drip system, right? That's what I like to do, right? Is what what I just said about having like 30 seconds 5 times a day.
Will you come in someone's house and help them set this whole thing up? Is that kind of what you do?
Do we come to their house?
Yeah, can you do that and like set up the drip system? Because I'm thinking,
no,
we should do a whole from beginning to end where he helps us start. We'll go to your store, do the whole thing. You know what I mean, from beginning to end, because this is a way to change shit, as far as when you can incorporate your drip system and now to the point where you've gotten, and it is so fine-tuned to grow just high-quality medicine. I mean, that is the fucking key to what we're trying to do here. Yep. Let you keep going. I got a question for you.
Well, here, real quick, right before that, the one other thing that I do like about drip systems, before we get, I guess too far off base, is getting that automation, especially for really any grower. having your watering system automated is going to allow you to spend more time with your plants, actually interacting with your plants and doing the work that needs to be done rather than keep on watering, right?
Yeah.
So you're actually going to have time to defoliate. You're going to have time to look for pests. You're going to have time to look for maybe fungus, powdery mildew, that kind of stuff, rather than every night you're having to
Take care of your babies, man.
Yep, exactly. So taking that workload off, indoor growing and home growing is all about workload. How much time do you have to dedicate to this? And then how much time do you need to interact with the family, right? So the other thing is that it can also help you dial in your climate, because everything is all getting the same amount. Now you don't have any spikes. You don't have any soil that's holding any water that's going to contribute more humidity this Tuesday, right? Because you overwatered on Sunday, and now you get a spike in your humidity. Because everything's the same, it's a lot easier to control aspects of your growing environment and take a lot of that guesswork out. All right, so now on to some questions.
I'll jump in real quick.
Beau's
Text
a
line
control
said
freak.
definitely make videos on how to set up. They're excited to see that, like see an actual grow built out. We'll make that happen.
I got some more pictures, guys, so we're
That'd
going to go
be
over
awesome.
some stuff here. But
No, let's shut it down. We're gonna get to building right now. He's got a drill. I got a hammer.
Real quick, I just want to remind everybody that's watching right now to tag a friend with the word grow, and they got a chance to win a $50 gift card to GrowActive Solutions. And
Oh,
we're giving
really?
a couple of those away. So tag a friend in this post, write the word grow afterwards. Also, Mo Green Card is giving out a certification. All you got to do is tag a friend and the word cert afterwards. So guys, we're trying to change lives here.
Yep.
Tag a friend, put grow, get them a nice little gift card to GrowActive Solutions. Tag a friend, write cert.
That
get you
$50 gift card
a free certification from MoGreenCard.com.
is also maybe close to about half of some of the stuff, like half the price of some of the stuff for that drip system. So,
Dang, man.
you know, for a little 4-pot little banger. Yeah, so
you hear that?
that's the other cool thing about drip, is that it can also be very affordable.
That's actually a few
Speaking my
people were
language.
asking some questions about that. But Vernon wants to know, what newts are you using in your drip system?
Hey, you got time to say nutrients.
I don't. I'm trying to figure out cameras and microphones. I got no time to say the full 3 syllables. Okay.
So if you guys have ever watched the show before, I've talked about what kind of nutrients I use, and I do use house and garden nutrients. But I have played around with some other stuff out there, so you know I don't just use one thing exclusively and be like, I'm not going to learn anything.
Forget all
anymore.
the rest of everything.
I have experimented in side by side, drip systems with even Floraflex nutrients. So they make their own line of nutrients. House and Garden, and a few others, but
That'd be
really,
interesting.
those are the two that I really go between. Now they're two different nutrients, and I use them for two different things. If I was to use kind of like both going forward,
Gotcha.
Yeah. So that's I predominantly use House and Garden, and then if I do anything, I'll switch out the House and Garden A and B for the Floraflex's base, but I still use all of my House and Garden additives.
Well, I saw his house and garden Hummer was out. That's what he pulled up in. big house and garden Hummer.
I wish I had a House and Garden Hummer. I do not. I don't even think House and Garden.
You
has a
wouldn't
House and
want
Garden
one. If
Hummer.
they gave you one, you'd be
Oh,
like,
if they
cool,
gave me one, of
thanks.
course.
I know, at the first it'd be cool, but after it'd be like, oh, that's cool. Hey,
But
I'm
they're
happy.
just ultra clean nutrients, House and Garden. They also help me get a lot of the organics into my hydroponics that I really like using. And so, I mean, because I just think that really just helps you capitalize on flavor.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, really get them terps going. Organics bring the terps.
You're that kid in class who's like, I was going to ask that smart thing. I'm having issues keeping water temperature from being too hot. I've been using Coke bottles, but it's just getting tedious. It's working, but it's tedious.
Yes, it is.
That comes from Allendale Vergera, and I'm certain he doesn't sound like that, but I'm going to read it like
So
that.
that's
Jera either, but we'll just keep going, Mr. Vergara.
So one of the things too, guys, is with drip systems is that now granted there is a threshold, right, to too hot of water. But with me running a drain to waste drip system, I don't have to worry about the temperature of my reservoir as much as people at home in a deep water culture system.
You're out.
Yep. So everybody at home, when they start off with hydroponics, makes this deep water culture system, and it's awesome until it gets too hot and you start getting root rot, right? That's where the
It
drip
gets
system-
hot. You get the root rot.
Yep. That's a new line for the
That's
song.
hey, write that down.
Yep,
It gets
yep.
hot, you get root rot. That's our next song. I got the root rot. Root rot, boy. That's good.
And so, you know, it is a pain in the butt, and that is one of the downsides to hydroponics is that, in my opinion, you know, and again, I do sell this stuff too, right?
Yeah, don't
but
believe
the
'em.
problem with hydroponics is that every single fix costs money.
Every single fix costs money.
Yes.
So like a fix on your plant or a fix on your system, all fixes.
Well, the system, let's say, right? So like this guy, he's filling up frozen Coke bottles, taking up room in the freezer.
That's what he's
Woman's
doing with
probably
the
not
Coke bottles.
Yep, trying
Coke
to cool
bottles.
down that reservoir, right? The fix to that is buying a chiller. So now we're talking something that's a couple $100, right? That's going to be using more electricity in your grow, so it's going to cost you more money on your electricity bill. But at the same time, that's how you 100% get around that issue.
yeah.
You know?
Because your lights are heating up the water, correct?
Yeah. How do you expect in a 75 to 80 degree grow room?
Lily
that-
pads.
Yeah.
Damn, just changed.
That's
the
that
game.
living hydroponics. People talk about
Change the
living
game.
soil. That's that living
hydroponics.
hydroponics.
Yeah, man. Lily pad hydroponics, man.
That's Missouri style right there. That's called it.
Little backwoods
We
action.
got a fan coming down here.
But that's one of the just the issues with hydroponics, in my personal opinion, is just trying to, you know, is those fixes. And so drip also helps you take a lot of those fixes out. I do not use any chillers. I do not use any Coke bottles, anything like that. It's kind of nice because my incoming air in my room kind of hits my reservoirs because, well, I'll show you. I have them up on ebb and flow tables, so my reservoirs are underneath my table. So I got my plants that are blocking the light that would be coming in and heating up stuff. Then they have to go through a grow table, and then it gets into this reservoir where there's air being blown on it. Now, so I don't have to worry when my temperatures hit 72, 75 degrees in my reservoir, you know, because it's not recirculating. It's not something like a deep water culture system where that warm water is going to create bacterial growth.
We
you know?
did hire me part-time to wave fans in the room too, shirtless, which I thought was cool. I did that for a little while with just big fans, just kind of doing.
I
doing
can
that,
see you
I'm
being
sure.
good at that.
I did a lot of time with the as a cabana boy in Tahiti. That's time I don't like to talk about that. I don't want to get into
Dark
that.
times.
It was dark. It was very dark times there. You know, it's a bright island. It's filled with joy, but woo, it gets real quick. We got any more questions from the text line, Craig? If not, I think
We got some people just
because we're wrapping this up, right?
And we'll remind everybody. Tag a friend, tag cert. You get a free chance for a free certification from MoGreenCard.com. Tag a friend, write the word grow, and you got a chance to win a $50 gift card from GrowActive Solutions. And Beau said that's going to get you most of the way there to get the system set up, guys.
What's wrong with you?
Come on,
Grow quality medicine.
at home.
Yep.
Don't be silly anymore. I'm talking to
Absolutely.
myself, actually. Right? I have a mirror. I'm not even looking at the camera. I'm looking at directly in the mirror right now. All right. So, any more questions on our two systems here? You want to wrap this up?
I think we're
Okay.
pretty good on this slide.
Because I feel like I understand that pretty
So
well.
let's-
And I
let's
think
get-
when you first talked about it, I go, I'm obviously going to go with the circulating system.
So we need to hit these key items here real quick, anything like that? You good on that? You already let them know? Tell you what. Go into GrowActive Solutions. They'll tell you all the key items that
There
you
you
need.
go.
Absolutely. So I guess this is just kind of summing up what we've already talked about, right?
I would have said that when before we had this talk, I said circulating system is the way to go in my head. After hearing him talk, I go, oh no, non-circulating system. If you can get that dialed in, your money in the bank.
Absolutely.
Shorty, what you think? You know
Yep.
what I mean?
I like that's another rhyme for the song.
Oh
I like
no,
where
that
you're going
one's
with
that's
this
from
one.
someone else. I'd steal
Oh.
that. That one's not me. That one's too good to be.
Ah, well,
mine.
you should have taken credit for it.
I
But
will
anyway,
next time. I will.
Anyway, all right. So let's get into some of the meat and potatoes here. So this is not a good picture that I took off of
This
Google
is 9
today.
megapixels you got right here.
Yeah. Okay. So Wow, this is bad, guys. I really apologize
No,
about
we'll
this.
blame the camera.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
camera's
the camera's
dog shit.
doing
That's
all of
great.
this. I did none of this. Right, so if you take a look here, this is a very, very basic system. So this is a 6-plant system, which is the legal number that a patient can grow here at home in Missouri, right? So you basically just have your light up top. You have your containers here. And then this little green guy down here that you might not be able to really even see is where all the magic is happening, right?
The pump.
No, so this is the manifold. So
What is this? A 71 CUDA?
the manifold takes water from the pump. So if there's a black hose coming off down here, as you can see,
Okay.
those blocks are actually a round
Oh,
hose.
blocks too? Oh man, we're
So,
getting into it tonight, boy.
So this hose is connected to the pump. So when that pump turns on, it pumps water up into this manifold.
Sure.
And then it gets equally distributed out through each one of these
Bullshit.
lines that is running to each pump.
How is
Or
it
each
getting
pot, I'm
equally
sorry.
distributed out of there?
It magic.
I'm into that. No,
Yep.
I mean, I'm sure they got some sort of science going on in there. So it'll shoot up. Where's your pump at in this system?
So it would be down underneath the table in your reservoir. So it'd be connected to this black hose.
Okay, so I have a little plant in here.
Yes.
Little guy, little girl, little girl,
Yes.
little girl. My lights are up here. You got a fan here. And this is some sort of system that can...
That's a drain table.
So that table everything will drain through that. Nothing will sit on that.
Well, so we would drill a drain hole in the table.
Well, why the hell is it called a drain table if it ain't got drain holes already, dude?
Well, because a lot of them come with holes that you can put in different places.
Okay, that's cool. I'll buy that.
So they come as a solid table, and then you drill your holes where you would like to drill your holes to fit your system.
That's how I'd like to do it.
Yep.
Mother Nature intended it. All right, so here is a bucket, or what are you using in your system? Are you using something similar to
I
this?
actually use these exact containers.
Okay, and that's filled with what?
Coconut husk. Ground up coconut husk, or
Ground
cocoa,
up.
as what people would know of it out there.
So that's all you got in those. And you got a manifold on yours?
Yes.
Okay, so then is this filled with anything? Is this where
Your nutrients and water.
So that's filled with your, how much were you using? 20 gallons and getting to as your waste? Is that
Yes.
correct? So you fill that with 20 gallons every day?
Every week.
Every week.
And I don't even go through all 20 gallons each week. I just top it up and just keep it rolling.
Gotcha.
Because I'm never
it's
getting
such. Yes.
because I'm
So-
never getting any waste. I can just kind of keep adding and keep adding, and everything's nice and clean. And I keep organics. I'll kind of go over. This is a little bit deeper. I'll explain that. I do run compost teas, but I never add them to my reservoir so that they don't ever corrode, not corrode, but get fungus. Yeah, get gunked up, get fungus and bacterias and all that kind of good stuff going in there.
A compost tea?
Yes. Yes. So that's over from the soil world.
Okay.
But that's how you get those good flavors in that
Okay.
hydroponics.
Is this isn't, are these getting wet enough to drip through
Yes.
very much?
Yes.
Okay.
But that's where we're going to tune that timing.
Gotcha. So when this thing turns on, are you fine-tuned when you get just a minimal drip out of here?
Yes.
That's where you're fine-tuned.
Exactly.
Your plant's getting everything.
Yeah, and your
Everything
medium
that it
is
needs.
completely saturated.
Gotcha.
Right? So they're getting completely wet, and then now they have this time in between that watering and the next watering to start drinking that, and then they're going to get resaturated
And
again.
your timer is somewhere wherever.
Plugged into the pump.
Gotcha. And you set that at, what was that again?
I set mine. Now this is going to be different.
yeah,
for
yeah, I'm just wondering,
everybody's
curious on
system.
yours.
I set mine to run for 30 seconds 5 times during the 12-hour flowering day.
Gotcha. Okay.
So about every, what is that?
So-
Oh, math. Oh God, my brain just went blank.
Okay, so what were the numbers again? Give them to me again, because I already lost them. You do
30 seconds.
Okay.
5 times
Okay.
a day. So
That's
in that
it?
12-hour time that they're on, that the lights are on for a day.
mean,
I don't drip at night.
It's only 2.5 minutes during a 12-hour.
Yeah.
That's not much.
No.
And your husks stay wet.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's not much at all.
No,
You think
because the timer does everything. I don't have to do
I
anything.
mean, I feel like the grocery store sprays more on their produce while we're in there, and that's not even growing. They're just spritzing the shit while you're in there the whole time.
Yep.
As a kid, I would just bathe in that stuff. That's probably how COVID got started. This little Stevie bathing in the old squash spray, whatever. So that's it right there.
Yeah, that's as simple as it is. Really, all of the magic happens right there in that manifold, because all you have is a container.
Give me costs on everything. What's the cost on here? A reservoir. You can make it out of anything. How often you cleaning this bad boy out?
So I clean mine once a cycle. Once an entire grow cycle. Excuse me.
Damn. That's it?
Yeah. So, well, before I flush.
But you're
I'll-
like, wiping it, I'm sure, and keeping it clean and
well,
not whizzing in it.
no.
Am I right?
But because I'm just adding new water to it all the time, and because it's not getting recirculated, essentially there's always fresh water, right? So I don't have to clean it.
Yes.
I keep a little.
I was wondering if the
circulating pump.
nutrients were maybe leaving like a residue on the walls slightly when they were going down, but if you're on top of it, never really gets the chance.
No, and then you can just clean it up. I mean, you can just clean it up once you're done.
Yeah,
you know what I
probably
mean? And like and
Splash
again,
some water on the side, actually.
Yeah, but that is, you bring up a good point. It does depend on the cleanliness of your nutrients.
Are you wanting to wash your hands with just like soap and water, or like is a Germex like gonna affect anything in that you get in there? A Dawn, like, is there anything you shouldn't be washing your hands with before you go rooting around in your stuff here? Like, am I thinking too much about this now?
A little bit.
Okay,
a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry, it's crazy times. I don't know. I don't know. We have more questions?
We got one. Does the water come from the top or the bottom?
So the water would come from the top through these hoses. So hopefully, if we can get a better picture up here at some point to show you guys, there's little hoses that run into the top of each one of the pots. There's actually two connected to each pot.
You're on screen right now, just FYI. Oh, sorry. You're good. You can do it while we're on screen talking. Go for it. But Craig's, and don't go through my search history though.
You
Live.
should go to
Do not go.
type
Craig.
in Floraflex. Type in Floraflex.
Type in Floraflex. Dude, what are you doing? Come on, man. This is new technology, and welcome to the
Images.
future, everyone.
And then right here.
Look at these guys.
Oh yeah, we're getting to those. We're getting to those. Those are the next ones up.
Where am I at? Which one?
This one right here. Third one over. Yep.
I think that's the same.
Well, it's the same.
Yeah. All right.
Nope, just took me to the.
Yeah, you're doing it. It's okay. Just.
I'll go back to it.
Yeah. We're seeing a wizard at work here, guys.
Can you just zoom in on it?
No. This is hilarious.
All right. Technical difficulties, guys.
No, just. They get it.
So yeah. So anyway. So there is
You can
hoses.
save it.
Oh, here. You can see it in this one. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
just zoom
Look
in
on
on
that
that
one.
one.
Which one here?
That one
yeah.
right in the middle. Right, so you can see that these hoses are run here into the top of each one of the containers. So that way it's coming in, it's getting watered from the top just like it would naturally the plant. And then it's going right down through the medium and then going into either back into your reservoir or into like your drain bucket, whatever you want to use.
What are we all in here? This whole little system.
I don't have pricing off the top of my
Give
head.
me the damn price, Bo. Shoot it to me straight, damn
Oh,
it.
man.
What if I'm just doing a cheapie? I don't want these fancy old green things like you got, and I don't, What's a manifold? Is that the most expensive part?
That's like $15.
And your pumps, 15, 20 bucks.
Yeah, 20, 30, somewhere in that
Could I
ballpark.
use like QT cups and fucking really get after it here?
I mean, if you, I guess, yeah, if you really wanted to,
I'll just
hell yeah.
I'm gonna outgrow everybody with QT cups, Craig.
I know a guy
I'm
who
gonna
is
do it.
doing a Pringles can challenge. That was
That's
pretty
awesome.
funny. Yeah.
I mean, it's a weed.
Yeah.
I bet it worked. You know what I mean? Like the way these systems are set up. Oh, it's got water and it's got light. Okay.
Yep.
Good job. It's gonna go. Well, that's pretty sweet. That makes me feel being able to see it in. I mean, what is this taking up here? 6 foot wide, maybe?
This is This is probably about a 2x4 area.
Damn. So you're 4 foot wide, 2 foot back.
Yep.
That's nothing.
Yep.
That's nothing.
And that's what you can grow 6 plants in. Now, hopefully it's going to get a little crazy in there, and I'll show you how things can get crazy in here.
Let's get crazy.
All right. So let's, I don't know if we can
Craig's
go
lost
to the
control.
next one. Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
yeah, that's good. No, that looks like Minecraft.
This is my fault, guys. This one's not Craig's fault. Craig's trying to do everything he can with the pictures I stole off of Google.
It's Craig's fault.
I don't think they have them on their websites for some reason. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Like a total.
Craig is
Yeah,
scouring
you
their
can only find
website.
them in the images.
That is so funny, dude.
You can save the image down at the bottom real quick. Is that what you were doing? Or take a screen grab? Clip grab? You can probably clip grab it. Clip grab it?
Yeah. Craig will get it.
Oh, well, yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we're
doing a
gonna
thing.
keep
We're
going.
doing a thing about
All right.
growing over here. I'm
Yep,
sorry.
okay, back to the show. Back to the show, guys.
I
Sorry about
usually,
that.
it's my life over here.
So, if this picture was a little bit clearer, and we're going to try and get it for
We'll
you.
imagine.
But this is a much bigger area, as you can see, that's set up with drip. So these green thing right there that you see running all the way down the table, that's all manifolds. So that
This
same
big-
round thing that was on that first table with the hoses coming out to each plant, this is just a series of manifolds. So that way you have,
Oh, bada
Craig for the
bing,
win.
bada boom. When I walk in, I'm the king of the room.
all right.
Damn, I am there. Am I there? Is this
Yeah, we
virtual
are, yeah.
reality? Is this virtual? Wow, those are manifolds. I can tell. Before they were
Yes.
pixels, and now they're manifolds. That's amazing.
We are gonna. So that next one, the one. So on your. Sorry, guys, real quick. Yeah, that's gonna be the next one.
Oh, my dude, he's ahead of the game now.
Oh, he's running it.
Okay, so do you only need one pump for all the manifolds?
Yes. But let's go back to the last one real quick.
He's just setting you up, baby.
So this is a table. You know, this is usually about a 4x8 table that we would be looking at here, and you can see how many plants that you're able to run on this
like
table
Tyvek.
hydroponically. So I mean, you're looking at. I mean, there's a whole bunch there on that table. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 by 3. Yeah, 36 plants per table. A little bit outside of the legal mode limit, you know, unless you got your,
12.
well, no, that's a little bit, but you know, we can scale that up, or down to the numbers that we need.
Listen,
to
grow
be.
as much as you want and make them stop you. I didn't say that,
What?
did I? I'm kidding. Grow as much as you can.
Question on the line here. Why not use
Kidding.
1 or 2 bigger reservoirs rather than those small containers? Wouldn't you get a bigger yield with more root space?
No, not necessarily. So that is all comes down to hydroponics versus soil.
Okay.
So the whole theory behind hydroponics, right, and we covered this back on Hydroponics 101, is that the difference between hydroponics and soil is that in soil, your plants have to spend a whole bunch of energy going down. They got to establish a huge root system going down and going down through this compact earth.
Yeah.
And then it has to search for water. They've got to search for nutrients, right? Hydroponics, everything is being delivered directly to that root zone. It's basically being injected into the
Man,
root zone.
they're the laziest roots of all time, man.
Well, it's not necessarily
No, they are.
that. It's that think about how frequently you water your soil containers. So that's once a day, once every 2 days, once every 3 days. I get to water my containers 5 times a day.
For 30 seconds.
Yes, but all the magic of growing happens in the drying period. How quickly can you get your plants water and then have them drink it? That's where the magic happens, is in the drying period as your plants are drinking, right? So in my little containers, my plants are drinking my container every 3 hours. So I get to keep hitting them and keep hitting them. So I essentially...
Don't hit them.
Well, no, I keep hitting them with nutrients.
Okay, thank you.
But
Your
I
children
essentially can take, I do in one day the amount of waterings and possibly even more waterings than what a soil grower would do in a whole week.
You're a wild man, Beau. Because everybody's like, oh man, soil rules. Remember, Craig and I can't go anywhere without someone going, soil rules, right in our faces every time. And now I'm armed with the ammunition. Soil does not rule. Hydro is a legitimate option. I'm just kidding. Obviously, there's benefits to both.
Yes.
But this excites me right here.
Yeah, it's all different theories. And so really understanding each one of those theories is what I'm here trying to help
Listen,
with.
bud, let's not make it into like poetry or philosophy or fucking growing wheat, all right? Let's not.
But with that, that's it's just the amount of times that I can get my plants to drink up my container. I can, that's the difference. That's how the magic.
You want this? Because I'll do the soliloquy
good
to "There Will Be Blood," the milkshake thing, if you want me to do it. I'll do the whole milkshake scene. I don't care.
Real quick, in here, guys. We're about an hour in. I think it's a pretty good time to maybe. Are you at a good point to take a little break from so we can check in with the.
You done with these guys?
Yeah. We can do that.
And then when we pick. No, go ahead.
So I
Tell
guess
me to
just
shut
real
up,
quick.
Beau.
Yeah,
So
real
the
quick.
other cool thing, guys, is with the drip systems, right? Is how you can easily scale. So as you can
gotcha.
see from the last slide to this slide, right? The only real difference is that we put in more manifolds for more plants, right? Now there is a point where we're going to have to resize pumps, or we're going to have to do this, or we're going to have to do that. But essentially, you're able to scale so easily, and you're able to keep scaling. This is how commercial facilities are going to be growing the cannabis that you are going to be buying in those dispensaries.
Man,
So why not grow it like they're going to grow it at home?
That if you get nothing else out of this,
Right.
that's the deal right there. You got the trade secrets. Beau's like those magicians who have to wear masks because they're going to get murdered by other magicians for giving up the secrets. So if Beau goes missing, we know why. He's giving out all the trade secrets here.
And so it's easily replicatable. A lot of you guys are out there are growing in tents right now, in your grow tents, your
Yeah.
4x4
Yep.
tents, right?
Yep.
So once we set up one system, right, and you automate that, your multiplication of that system is so easy. You get another tent, you set up another system.
like
You get
that.
another tent, you set up
Another
another system. You get a new patient that you're going to start caregiving for, you get 3 new tents, and you can keep scaling this up.
I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
shit.
it's easily replicatable, and it's cheap. Once you bought this manifold, that's the magic, right? So once you have that set up, now it's just connecting the plants up to it. So the investment, again, like this manifold, this whole assembly is like $30 for that manifold. But the manifold itself, and that's personally what I use. I just use these top pieces, and they're like $15.
Damn.
And that pumps to one manifold pumps to 4 different ones.
So it actually has 8 tubes that come out.
Okay.
So you're able to rearrange how
got
do you
2
want
each.
those 8 tubes to go? Do you want 1 tube per 8 plants, right? Or do you want to do 2 tubes to 4 plants? You can also run 6 plants if you want to. You can just jump one of the outs and have it like, I can explain that. That's some more technical stuff. But you can really set up this manifold to do any number of plants that you want to. Yeah, so anywhere between 1 and 8 plants, this manifold can accommodate. So again, for the average patient out there, you're going to be growing 6 plants in your flowering tent. You're going to be having 6 plants in your veg tent. You need 1 manifold. And then you're automated, essentially, right? A little water pump, a timer, a simple timer. I got $20 timers at the shop that you can do all of this stuff with. You don't need a $100 timer anymore to do any of that stuff, right? So it's very cheap. And
I mean,
once you
look
have
at this. This wasn't around. I mean, this probably was around a long time ago. But now we're seeing this be more mainstream. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's legalized. Here you go, guys.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this question. You've seen The Matrix, right?
Yes.
Let's zoom out a little bit on this. If we can, zoom me out a little bit. Imagine like, this is like us, you know what I mean? And these are like, the artificial intelligence machines, right?
Uh-huh.
And they're just feeding us, and we're just like, that's why you need to support local. If you're gonna, That's the message I'm getting across here, guys. If we're going to be used as human batteries, do you want the company who's like, oh, they're human batteries and we just put a number on them? Or do you want the people who are going to play music for their human batteries and sing to them? You know what I mean? Like, that's what it is, because when you're doing this on a personal level, you can take care of your plants. And the big guys are going to do this, and they're just going to be like, whatever, man. That's just a human battery. And cannabis, I believe that is, kind of sentient. So that's why you got to sing to them, take care of them. Talk to guys like Beau. Go into the shop. You will be amazed. I am amazed at this. I can't wait to try it. We're going to go from step 1 to step whatever. 7. He's got a 7-step program that he's selling on the internet. 7 steps to growing the best cannabis in town with Beau Bradley.
To answer Grace's question.
No, I don't know. I just came up with it. We're spitballing here.
To answer Grace's question, she said, "Where is his shop?" Well, it's down in lovely Tower Grove South.
Thank you.
Right off of
Yes.
Grand.
Yeah, it's
Is
awesome.
it on Hartford?
Yes, it's on Hartford
Look at
Street,
me
right
go.
off of Grand.
Look at me go. Hartford, right off Grand. It is actually a pretty sweet little setup.
Dude, what do you mean, look at you go? You're the guy when someone comes in from Oklahoma and he's like, oh, yeah, I live by that sicko off route. He's like, by Route 3, where that old Hardee's used to be? I'm like, how do you know that? Like, the guy's like, yeah, man, that's where the old church road back there. He's like, dude, I knew a guy who lived back there. Helped him move one time. I'm like, dude, I don't know how to get home from here. Help me. Like, help. You are home, Steve. Everything's gonna be okay.
Are we good?
Are we good?
Are we good? Yeah, we're good, man. I love you.
Yeah, are we in a spot where we can move on to the next thing
Not
after
the
a
next
break?
thing, just the
Yeah.
Can of Convict project, and then you can
Oh.
you tell us wherever we want to go.
Yeah, no, I think we're good to move on from there because I think we're going to get into some other stuff. But again, this was to show you guys how easy it is to duplicate, to multiply, to be
Like
able to
gremlins.
scale up as the needs for cultivation scale up. And it's just an easy and efficient way that you can do it. Once you do one system and you get that one system down, you've figured out the formula. You're done.
You're done.
Right?
Yeah.
So then it just lessens that workload and you're able to get more stuff done yourself. And ultimately, time is money, people. Right?
You can learn
Absolutely.
a skill. You can learn ukulele. You can learn
Ukulele.
Jeet Kune. Guys, I want to talk about the Can of Convict
defoliate.
project. The Can of Convict project is the real deal, guys. People are still sitting in cages while we get to have conversations about the best way to install our drip systems. So let me not get too excited and let me ruin my own day and hopefully everyone else's because there are people still locked up and it's
No doubt.
bullshit. Like, we can have 1 foot in each, and remember that every time we talk about this, we need to have in our head somewhere, people are still locked in a cage over this shit. It's got to stop. People like Christina and Chris are
Some of my favorite people in the world.
most beautiful
Amen.
souls of all time. They're putting in the work, and they're like, oh no, don't look, don't bring that attention here. It's like, no, we need to give them attention. I'll put the spotlight directly on them
Right
at
on
the
his
next
face.
event we're at.
And Chris, he'll
I
sing
don't
to
care.
you. He's a crooner.
I got, if there's one thing I learned about our weekend in the woods is everyone comes up and they're like, did you hear Chris sing?
He's a singer,
And I was like, no. And they're like, he sounded like Trace Atkins.
just like him.
And I'm like, I don't listen to enough Trace Atkins.
Me either.
to really get a
I
good read
listen
on
to Trace
that.
Atkins when I can listen to Chris Smith.
Yeah, hey, thank you. There we go. All right, take us to the.
Here's a little note from Can of Convict project. A little update, guys.
Is this actually going to work, or have you?
Hi guys, it's Christina Fromer with
He
the Can
doesn't
of
sleep.
Convict Project. Sitting here with one of our board members, Chris
Turn
Wolfenbarger.
our mics off there,
As we
bud.
have said a couple weeks ago, we want to start introducing more of our board members to you all. It's not just Chris and I who are sitting here making this magic happen. It's everyone involved in the community. Chris has such a wonderful background. I don't want to take up any time telling his story wrong. He's got everything to add to this project. He's got everything to add to this community. I'm going to let him take it over. Please, Chris, introduce yourself to everyone here at the Grow Series.
My name is Sergeant Chris Wolfenbarger, retired from the 1141st Sapper Company of the Missouri National Guard. I was blessed to serve our country in Afghanistan and was blown up by a suicide bomber in 2010 and medically retired from the military. After that, since my time in the military, I have been on several boards that help veterans and the veteran community. I am on the advisory board of the Foundation for Exceptional Warriors. I am on the board of directors for Hickory Hills Veterans Lodge. I also am on the board of directors for the Missouri Can of Convicts. And I am starting a foundation called the Veteran Patient Access Foundation, whose mission will be specifically to help veterans and first responders get some of their medical recommendation costs offset. And I'm not the typical board member at Missouri Can of Convicts. I've decided to lend my voice to this mission because it is near and dear to my heart. There are so many people in jail for something that our society has decided is now legal. And that is the type of hypocrisy that people need to stand up and take a stance and do something against. I'm not a lawyer. I've been a real estate appraiser for 25 years, so I've been getting paid to tell the truth for a quarter of a century. And I've been blessed to be successful in that. And now the Missouri Can of Convicts had a special need that God blessed me with the talents to fill. And that is they needed the educational piece for law enforcement. The best way to get somebody out of jail is for them never to be in jail. So the Missouri Can of Convicts, while the lawyers and all of the people that are involved in those appeals and in those processes of getting those people that are incarcerated out, because no one should be in jail for a plant, these nonviolent offenders, we need them at home and with their families and productive members of society again. We also need to not perpetuate that cycle, and that's where I fit in. Christina and the team have really done a great job of creating some educational materials and just a full curriculum that we're going to be able to take to law enforcement and prosecutors and let them understand how to interact with medical patients and how important it is for citizens that are medical marijuana patients to be compliant with Missouri's laws. And if you're compliant with Missouri's laws, then you will not be prosecuted, will not be arrested. But to do that, we have to educate the police officers, the sheriffs, the prosecuting attorneys, and the deputies, and everybody in the system to keep these people that are legal medical patients abiding by the laws that Missouri citizens have voted into place. And we're going to keep them out of jail, we're going to keep them out of trouble, we're going to keep them out of court. And that's going to free up law enforcement to do what they really want to do, which is catch violent criminals that are harming other citizens. I've talked to law enforcement at every level, and I've never heard one say, I became a police officer to catch some kids smoking weed behind the school. They always say, I'm here to protect and serve our society from the violent animals that are perpetuating crime on innocent people. And we're going to help educate them to make sure that they're in a position to understand how to interact with medical patients, what compliance looks like, and how we can create a fulfilling and not just fulfilling, that might not be the term, a productive interaction between law enforcement and compliant Missouri medical marijuana patients. And that way we can keep them out of court. We will free up all of those dollars that are currently being spent on those prosecutable offenses. We're going to turn those dollars into money that we can spend on opening rape kits and checking for DNA, on chasing down murderers and armed robbers and violent criminals and people that have done assault. And if you don't step forward and help our mission, then all evil needs to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. So I'm challenging whoever's watching right now to look up the Missouri Can of Convicts Project, learn about our mission, see what we're doing, and get involved. And that might just be so much as a like. It might be a share. You might want to donate. We're a nonprofit. Everything we do is to help get people out of jail for nonviolent marijuana offenses, and we're succeeding. And we can succeed even more with your help. So we would appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Chris, for all of your words of wisdom. It means everything to us to have you involved, your insight, your experience, your ability to communicate with the audience in which we're trying to communicate with is so important. We appreciate everybody's support. We appreciate everybody's involvement here in the industry and the community. This started as a movement and it has turned into an industry because of people who have not given up the conversation. We're not done yet. We have so much more to do. Thank you for all of your support, and I can't wait to get you in front of law enforcement so that we can train them on how we expect to be interacted with and also train the community how to interact back. So we'll see you guys next week. We love you. Thank you again for all the support. Please enjoy the rest of the show.
Thanks for letting me be involved.
Hey, DJ Shaba.
I'm gonna smoke a little weed, boy.
I wanna grow some trees, boy.
When I grow all the weed that I smoke,
And I blow all the trees that he grows.
and I smoke all the weed that I grow.
And I grow all the trees that he smokes.
Well, I'm growing and I'm smoking,
So I go see Beau.
and I'm smoke what I grow, yeah.
GrowActive Solutions.
And I'm growing the hydro,
Beau knows hydro.
and I'm growing the hydro.
GrowActive Solutions.
Bono hydro, Bono hydro, Bono hydro. Bono how to grow, Bono how to grow,
GrowActive Solutions.
Bono how to grow.
GrowActive Solutions.
What are we up to? 100 million downloads on
100
that?
million downloads on
Just
GrowActive
reached
Solutions.
100 million download mark.
Banger.
You can find it on our Spotify list. Is that what kids are doing these days? They're putting it on their Spotify lists. Download that one. It's called Bono
I have it on
Hydro.
my mixtape.
Obviously, I heard you bumping down the street, rattling windows with some 15s in a trunk. What?
Just a reminder for everybody that's just now coming in. If you tag a friend in the word grow, you get a chance to win a $50 gift card to GrowActive Solutions. Beau's going to take care of you.
Yep.
He's going to take care of you guys. If you need a friend that needs a certification, you can tag their name and the word cert, which is really not a word, I don't think. It's
I got
short
time.
for a word. They
Got
got time for that. Hey,
abbreviation.
type in CERT after your friend's name, and they have a chance to win a free medical marijuana certification from MoGreenCard.com.
So tag a friend, tag Squirt.
No, CERT, C-E-R-T.
Sir,
Don't
not
confuse.
Squirt.
He's the worst in the
And
live
then you
read
said
business,
Beau
guys.
would take care of them.
Yes,
And you meant like emotionally.
manually.
Oh, Beau. That's my gig. Okay, don't be giving that out to everybody else.
I'm
Okay?
talking about automation, not manual.
Automatically.
I'm not trying to do manual labor. You see how efficient his system is, okay? He's not trying to add hours to his day. Hours. I've been there. All right, we're going to get through the rest of this because if you got questions, hit us with your grow questions. Now is the time.
Yes.
If you want to learn how to grow, it doesn't even really have to be about hydro. We would like it probably to be about the drip system and hydro, but we'll take any of your questions. I don't know, maybe you're going through some stuff right now and you just need some advice. Yeah. We'll help you out. I don't
Beau
know.
knows emotional support.
Beau knows emotional. Doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but we're gonna work that into a song. Let's go ahead. Let's let Beau do his thing. Let's go ahead.
One thing we did not get to, Beau, is growing vertically with these
Yes.
things. Got some racks going on here.
Yep. So this
Rack
is
City.
This is what
Rack.
you call the dream. At least my dreams. So
You got weird ass dreams, Beau.
I do. They all surround plants and
Yeah, that's why we
automations
need
and
people like you.
racking.
You're just laying under it in your dream, just like dripping on your face. All the nutrients. Okay, go.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, it's my dream. You there?
Again, so this is, again, I want to show you guys that the drip system is really a cool way for you to grow like the pros. Because, again, This is what the pros are doing. This is a vertical system that's going to be put into, again, some of these commercial grows. In my opinion, the smart commercial grows would be racking their systems because you get to double your floor space.
Yeah.
Right? So cut down on rent, cut down on a whole bunch of stuff, and start racking stuff.
Yeah. I think they're limited on canopy space, but I'm not 100% sure what that means. Like, I mean, is that square footage? Is it cubic footage?
It's square footage.
Okay.
And this would count into your canopy space.
Yeah,
You know what I
sure.
mean? But at the same time, you would be able to run a smaller facility.
Yeah.
Right? You wouldn't have to pay for as much as you're building. You wouldn't have to pay for as much climate controlling. There's a whole lot of expenses that could be saved doing it this way. And so, again, this is that simple table that we started off with 6 plants on it. And then we went up to the 36, and then we went to the greenhouse, and then now we're in vertical racks. It all gets done the same way. It's just a way of watering your plants efficiently and consistently, and then you're able to do awesome things and really grow like the pros. So, this is something that in the right environment, you got a small apartment in the city or something like that, right? You're a caregiver. Right? You might not have the space to have a whole bunch of tents.
Just have like one rack.
You can have a rack. Yeah. And then you would be able to accommodate for more patients. And so, this is a really great way of obviously just continually growing a system, So that's that. I just wanted to show you guys off a rack system real quick and the cool design.
Let's say you're a teacher who has medical bills to pay and you got a warehouse in the city kind of off the grid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're getting valuable information here on how to grow high quality medicine.
Definitely. Also,
is this a manifold? You got a close up of a manifold here.
I did.
You love these freaking manifolds, don't you?
Because this is the simplicity part.
You're making.
One thing I did forget to say that I did want to say
Okay, so.
with the questions part, guys. We did the extraction show for our last show, and we didn't really get to do any questions.
That was the best show.
So if you missed that show, you can go to Who's Your Sophisticates YouTube, and you can catch that show. If you tuned in and you have any questions about anything that we did at that extraction show, please ask those questions.
Yeah, flood this line with questions. Beau's trying to answer all of your questions.
Give him your Instagram too, because the Instagram rolls he had from that were
GrowActive Solutions on Instagram too.
Pretty
So
simple.
It's very simple. At GrowActive Solutions.
It's an awesome follow.
Grow with a W, solutions with an S at the end. So I've been talking a lot about these manifolds.
grow with a W.
Some
Grow
people will
with a
do it without the
W.
W. He's
Yeah.
just, clearing the air here.
Mo.
You're right, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people like to abbreviate in this industry. They get lazy sometimes.
I get it, cert.
Yeah. The certs.
We need you to type out certification. Otherwise, we won't know what you're talking about.
Okay. All right. So I've been talking a lot about these manifolds, of how this is kind of the magic of the system, and it really is. So I just wanted to kind of get an up-close picture for you guys so you can see that they're really simple things. Basically, on the bottom here, you would have a fitting that would connect to a tube just coming out of your pump. So just a simple flex tube that you can find at any, you can even hook a garden hose up to it, really, if you wanted to, with the right size fitting and stuff. And then this just distributes out 8 tubes that go out to your plants. And so that's what these little guys are down here around the bottom. And then these little colored, discs down here, those are flow regulators. So those are inserts that you can put in this manifold if you want the manifold to give less water out to your plants. So instead of having to resize your pumps or instead of having to redo your timers, you can pop different ones of these in, and then these are rated for different gallons per hour. So going back to that one guy's question who's asked about gallons per hour, this is where gallons per hour could come in. You know what I mean? But I personally still like to run this without those flow regulators in there and just adjust my time. But that's me personally. But they give you those in the pack so that you're free to do whatever you want to, because it's a very versatile system. You just want to have it, your timer maybe only does a minute, right? So then you can put one of these things in there and you can cut it down halfway, 3/4 of the way. So again, these are just rated for different gallons per hour.
How often you cleaning these once a cycle?
Yeah, exactly.
How often they getting all gunked up?
I mean, that's
You
going
ever
to be...
getting a pipe gunked up? Is it better to use thicker gauge?
Well, so this is all 1/4-inch tubing that they're
Okay.
run off of, which is like your standard airline that you can find really at any
ain't
hydro
that ain't
shop
gonna gunk
anywhere.
up.
No, not really. But it also has to do with, again, the nutrients. So it
Yeah.
has to do with what you're running through those lines. House and Garden has a product.
As long as you're running house and garden nutrients, then you'll be.
They have a product called Drip Clean. And Drip Clean
course they do.
gets added to your reservoir at 4 drops a gallon. 0.4 milliliters is the actual dosage rate. So that's 4 drops a gallon, and that makes sure that you never have any buildup or any clogs in your hoses. Yeah. So
I know. I'm amazed at the little bit of the amount of concentrated chemicals they do have to kind of help with different systems. Because once you learn pools, even you got to learn the ratios of how that is, all that stuff. This is just on a miniature level, and then you're actually growing something at the end. These now, I guess they make all different kinds of these. Or you kind of
there's one. That's it. That's it. So again, no matter if you're doing that little 6-plant system on the table or all the way up to that vertical rack system, it's all just that same exact manifold. Wow. No difference. Okay. So again, grow like the pros are growing.
Okay.
Right?
All right, man.
And so again, it's just, they're really simple. They're really easy. Again, they're like $15 or so at GrowActive. And we can get you set up really easily. This connected to, again, a $20, $30 pump. You're basically in biz.
We've got a little sidebar conversation. Our friend Grace says, I have a room without heat or air. Should I grow my hydro in there? A comment to that was you probably need some type of climate and humidity control. So it's so there's a question. When you get all this hydroponics set up into a room, is that going to obviously spike the humidity, or is there going to you're going to have to do some kind of dehumidification?
Well, so there's a lot of different things that go into that. So you can help lessen the amount of humidity that's going to be distributed into your room. Number one, with reservoir covers, right? So you're just not getting evaporation because of your light. That's also really, dialing in the amount of water that you're giving to each one of the plants. Again, so you're not having significant runoff that is going to contribute to humidity in your growing environment. So it's you do want some type of climate controlling function in your growing area. So whether we're doing that with exhaust fans or whether we're doing that with some type of mechanical, HVAC,
you're gonna need
heat.
something circulating
Yes.
air in there.
Yes, you need something to, because really
What kind
the
of room
most
is Grace putting this in?
She has a tattoo.
Yeah,
the little F dungeon or something Grace got done. Is it John's? Is it Grace John's? I know. Yeah, that's why I said that. You can grow in there, Grace. You just got she's got locks on the door. She don't need to worry about that. Yeah. Okay.
We got if you notice a deficiency and you're going to treat it, do you apply it to each plant solely or add the missing newt to the main supply? Is that an option if all plants are showing the same symptoms, or does that lead to a gunked up system quicker?
So, kind of the nice thing with this system is that you're able to do really anything that you want to with it. So again, I'm going to kind of keep beating that dead horse, saying that you can do anything you want to. So when your plants are on that table, they're still in containers.
Yeah.
So you can just walk over and hand water them and unplug your timer for a day, or for a couple minutes, or just have it not come on for your next cycle. So you can individually dose each plant and water it just like you would be in your soil, Or if it's a widespread problem, in your whole system, then you can just add it right to your reservoir. Magnesium's something that a lot of people run into deficiencies of. We talked about the CalMag Blues.
Yeah.
Right?
You want to spray those, right? You want to apply when you're trying to fix those things, or are you going straight into the soil with that?
Well, so you definitely can spray, but when you're a lot more people come into it'd be a widespread problem in your system most likely if you're going to be seeing it. And so you can just quickly add that right to your reservoir and just done, fixed, or you could be hitting each individual plant as you see fit.
Going back to Grace's question about the hot and like the cool air circulation, are you ever worried about creating a tornado in your grow room? Because it seems,
You have climates
clashing. Short-sighted. To not.
There was no tornadoes. Sometimes cyclones.
Sometimes
cyclones, hurricanes.
You listen, people.
Yeah, if you
strap your tents down,
high humidity, that's when you have to watch for hurricane-like conditions.
It's not the heat; it's the humidity, though. Craig, what is another question?
You guys are a little frozen here, so I'm gonna.
Guess what another. Hey, that's cool. That's cool. Look at us. Can they hear us? Yeah, they can hear us. It's pretty much. It's pretty much a. What this is a puppet show. Okay, go ahead and explain the rest to us. We got no visual. It's a podcast from here on out.
Okay.
What do you got?
We're podcasting it up.
Yeah. So we're done with the manifold. We're growing. What else you got to tell us about that system? Really, that's it, right? As far as the drip system goes, like, what else do we need to know?
I was going to show you some more examples, but we lost the visual end of it.
we can still see them and try to explain them to people.
Sure.
You are now looking at a picture of.
Yeah, I'll explain it in great detail. Click us to the next picture over the manifold. Help us out while you're panicking and rummaging through every camera and wire we own as a company right now. Okay, I've seen those. I've seen that. No, I haven't seen that.
So that's a tray, I guess.
Yeah. So, yeah.
So that's a tray, I guess.
This is what trays do.
Yeah, explain it. It's green. It's got holes in it.
Yeah. So we're just gonna show some different components that we can't really talk about. So I get real quick. Does anybody else have a question on that? We can do that.
Here we go. Yeah, real quick. First time grower. I plan on using my closet but rent, so I can't add exhaust. I'm on disability, and the more I learn, the more expensive everything seems. What can I do bare minimum for a decent yield? He plans on using soil, but going for cost efficiency.
So, I mean, really, in that type of situation, what you'd be looking for, in my opinion, right, to start off with would just definitely be like a low heat light. So something in the LED family. Now, granted, not all of those are created equal.
There's a million LED lights on the line now.
And not all of them are low heat either.
Really?
Yeah.
Some LEDs get real hot?
Absolutely.
I did not know that.
Yep.
Okay, well, you learn something new every day.
You really have to look at the watts of what they're consuming.
I'm looking at the camera like making faces. I'm just making faces at the camera for no reason.
So with that's in a closet space, if you're not able to add exhaust, right, then you're gonna have to make sure that the light's not gonna be contributing too much heat. If you can't do anything about that heat, you would also probably want to run some supplemental CO2 because that's what plants breathe. So we're not able to exchange air, right? We're not exchanging air for oxygen for plants. That's a big misconception.
Okay.
We're exchanging air for CO2. So plants breathe in CO2 and give off oxygen, right? Where we do the exact opposite, and we give off, we breathe in oxygen and give off CO2. Yeah. So with that, once you have CO2 and it's just gonna your plants have something to breathe. If you're gonna lock them in a small room and not give them any air, here's a way that we can give them some air. And there's different ways of delivering CO2 to your plants. They make really some like kind of cool like little mushroom bags. Because
Damn
mushrooms
right they do.
produce CO2 as they're growing.
Damn right.
So there's these little bags you can hang in your grow space.
Boss with the hot sauce. We got video back, boys.
Oh.
Let's take them on a little journey.
Oh, we're back.
Thank God the
I can
audience
see
is
my
getting,
arm moving.
We're getting restless without seeing Beau and I's beautiful faces over here. Oh shit.
Okay, we're back, baby.
All right, so that would be the one thing, in my opinion, that you would really kind of need to get sorted out first.
Okay.
And then really it's one of my things is it really doesn't matter how you grow, whether you want to grow soil, whether you want to do a drip system, whether you want to do some other type of hydroponics, just start, just do it. Right? Call me. I'll help you get started. You know, we can work with any budget. And so from there, but it's all about environment. And environment's really a expensive thing to fix. You know, you either have an air conditioner or you don't, and you need to go buy one. You either got heat or you don't, and you gotta go buy one. You know, so
what's a typical grow room sitting at? Like, what's your grow room temp wise?
So grow rooms are generally anywhere between 75 and 82.
Okay, so nothing crazy, nothing. No. You're not like the rainforest or anything in there.
No.
Now, no, you don't.
Oh,
well, how'd you get everything back?
We're gonna be back in 3D.
I'm just the man, except for the batteries fucking weren't working. Okay, just
kidding.
kidding.
Oh no more 3D batteries then.
Just kidding.
We can do a hot swap real quick.
No, we can't. We'll do
This
it
is
after
great.
a
We're
commercial.
almost done with this.
Yeah,
anyway.
we'll do it after a commercial.
People have learned almost everything about growing that they can possibly handle. Okay, we're giving them all the information. You think we do this for free? You're going to have to pay our, what do you call those pay sites? Me and Beau got a 1-900 number.
OnlyFans?
An OnlyFans website.
We also have a
Patreon.
Hey growers, do you want to learn how to grow?
Call Beau and Steve.
Mucho.
Yeah, I love that.
We'll
guy.
both take care of you.
We'll get all your nutrients milked. Do you milk nutrients?
No.
Okay.
They're
We
not
talked
almonds.
about putting milk in the plants last time, remember? Or
Yes, we did.
yeah, we did. We
Kept for
mentioned
calcium, but there are better ways to get
better
calcium
ways
to
to do it.
plants,
You
yeah.
don't want
Yeah.
to give milk
Eggshells, things like that.
Yep.
to. Yeah, we did.
Definitely.
We learned. We went over that already.
All right, so this little piece of plastic over here is actually kind of like an awesome invention. So what this is this is a cap that sits on top of your medium, and they are made in square like this one, or they're also made in round to go for soil containers. And what this does is that this makes sure that the water is evenly dispersed on the top of that cap before it goes down into your medium. And it also makes it go down slower so that your medium is actually absorbing. Because if, say, a lot of people are growing at home out there, if you're growing in soil, your plants are dry, you put a ton of water on them, it comes right out, right? So it's got to go in there slowly and it's got to absorb. And so not only does that do that for you, but it also helps block the light from hitting the tops of your containers. So my roots, I have roots all across the top of my medium. This thing is literally filled with roots, you know, from the top to the very bottom because of this cap.
Because it's filling it everywhere.
Yes, and it's blocking light. Roots don't like light. So
Neither do loots.
No, neither do Lutz.
You're like a nice dingy tavern.
That's where you'll find a lutist.
Yeah, lutist. Play me a song bard.
Well, that's a phenomenal. Is there?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so these are little caps, and then these are just the holes that allow the water
to just go in.
I'm just trying to think of a way I can rig one up myself. No big deal. That's
Every time you do it, just pay the couple
in this
bucks.
industry for a long time. Whether you cut out like black and white plastic and put it over the tops of your containers, there's been a whole bunch of ways that we've tried to block light or algae growth. You know, but this kind of all encompasses like into the drip system. Because again, instead of you having just one drip or one stream just going into this big, area of medium, it's now being evenly dispersed from corner to corner. And so it's a great little piece, and they're cheap. They're like $4.
Yeah,
something like that.
They're not gonna gouge you because they know guys like me will be like, "I'll make my own."
We got a couple of questions here.
Yes.
Let's see here. After they've all excoriated me for messing with things, Kesha, somewhere in there.
I like that.
I like Keisha. So
Okay.
whatever you like, I like the other one. Are the startup costs better with hydro, or does it pay off over the long term? If not,
So yes, it will definitely pay off over the long term. Hydroponics is an investment. As you can see, there is a lot of plastic to buy.
yeah.
Right? That you don't have to buy with soil. With soil, all you're going to do is you're going to grab a bag of soil, you're going to grab a couple of pots, and you're going to fill up those containers and you're going to water them, right? So it's way cheaper of an investment to get into soil. That's another reason why I urge beginners to get into soil, because get a return on your investment, see a result, have some type of success, start the learning process, and then we can go over to hydroponics. Then once you feel comfortable making a more of an investment into yourself because of the things that you've learned, then it's not such a big deal, you know? But it does turn people away just initially from hydroponics, just from that upfront cost. There is a lot of plastics to buy. And, you know, if you're not the most responsible person, sometimes like myself, right, then you end up buying more containers rather than just cleaning the ones that you have, right? Or this, that, or the other thing. So
they have like a Chinette brand of like, it's nice. It's not the cheapest paper plate in the game, but yeah, it's got a little. Yeah, because I'm not cleaning it.
It's classic. But it definitely, hydroponics is an investment, so it will absolutely pay off over the long run. I mean, just think about that $15 manifold. The amount of time that is saving you from watering your plants on a daily basis alone. How long? I mean, I give myself at least $10 an hour. That's what, you know, you gotta
you're
come
worth
up with
way more than that.
Well, I mean, whatever. But you know, whatever.
Whatever. I've been selling myself short for years.
Yeah.
I ain't worried about it.
You know, but like,
I
you
get
know,
paid
again,
in
like,
trees,
you
bud.
gotta pay yourself something, and your time is worth something. So,
100%.
if you can hook up a $15 manifold and a $20 pump, over the lifespan of those two items, you will get way more than $30. I will save myself way more than 3 hours in the first week, right?
Buddy, these are dishwasher safe.
They are, actually.
Why? What's wrong with you?
The lady doesn't always let me wash my growing supplies in the dishwasher.
That's
Good call. Good call, Doug. What are you doing a load of? Nothing.
What do I do when she leaves the house? I wash all my grow equipment in the dishwasher.
We're so cool with the grow equipment in the day. We're crazy, man.
Sadie in the comment section asks, supplemental CO2.
Yes.
How am I getting it?
How are you getting it?
Yeah.
So, again, there's a couple different products that you can buy out there that are like easy to make or like easy to use, like home CO2 kits. So a couple that come to mind real quick is at GrowActive, I sell Exhale CO2 bags, and I sell these other devices, well, not devices, but products that are called TNB Naturals. Both of them are, the Exhale bag is a mushroom bag, so it itself is growing mushrooms inside of this bag and releasing CO2 into your garden. This, the TNB
What
Naturals.
kind of mushrooms are, what kind of mushroom,
So it's actually a proprietary mushroom that they use.
I bet it
in that
is.
one.
I bet it is. That's what I would say, too.
Because they deliver CO2 for 6 months.
damn little mushrooms?
Yeah, so those little mushrooms kick butt, and those little bags are only like $30-$40 in the last 6 months. Now, granted, it's not the greatest CO2. You're not getting the most high end. You're not getting the most, consistent CO2, but it's enough for the average home grower. Yeah. Then there's other ways of getting actually tanks at CO2. So at GrowActive, we do a CO2 tank exchange program. So I have full tanks of CO2 that you can come in and get from the shop. And then you just bring me back your empty tank, and I just always have a full one there for you.
Do you? Okay, this is a dumb
Blows
question.
them up like a balloon.
No, do you pump the CO2 into the water, or you go straight into
the air?
Oh, just like on. Okay.
Yes. So CO2 is heavier than air. So you would run a hose up to the top of your growing environment, and then let that CO2 rain down on
Just
your
drop
plants.
down on your plants.
Yep, exactly. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can set it up at a whole bunch of different price points. CO2 tanks, you do need a regulator to start dispersing the gas. And then you'd want to really ultimately hook that up to a CO2 controller, something that's going to turn on and off the regulator that's on the tank to disperse CO2 at the intervals and the amounts that you want to. That way you're just not wasting it.
Guy wanted to add it to the water.
Tiffany Jones says, my mom just said in her English accent, which I'm going to pretend it's not an English accent. Oh, I say, I thought I was anal about growing plants.
Oh, I say, I thought I was anal about wearing the pants.
Is her mom Russell Brand?
I thought I was wearing anal pants.
Is that what she said?
No, I don't know.
All right, next question.
Yeah, we can move on to the next slide.
Cool, man.
Cool, man. I wish this guy had the next slide ready.
Hey, he's working. He's working on it.
No,
Is this got your little table set up?
Yep. Yeah. So just real quick, guys. You can see. I just wanted to get you an up close picture of the containers.
Why don't you hit him with a desktop view? No. I'm saying I'm saying you on the other side.
Oh, I can do that.
Yeah. He can give him like that picture. That's it. See?
Oh, yeah, cool.
Now you can talk about it and they can see it.
Yep. So again, guys, you can just see real quick that the up closer picture of the setup. So you have the pots with the caps on them, and it has the tubes running into there with the little clips on the side holding the hose there, making sure that they don't go anywhere or pop off or anything. And then
They better not pop off.
Better not pop off. Oh, excuse me. I just
Come
popped
on.
off. Sorry for the
This is a professional show. How dare you burp into the microphone?
I'm so sorry, guys. Excuse me.
Oh, Jesus, shut it down.
This show's a mess tonight.
Our asses are going to be out here in 5 minutes.
Our first show was way better.
No, it wasn't. Nothing was going to top last week. We thought we were going to mail it in.
Honestly, if you didn't see the hash be made last week and the rosin, oh my God, one of the coolest experiences. Not to break out of what we're doing right now.
It was fun.
We got to go see Beau in his home stadium, and man, did he did
Raked.
not disappoint.
5 for 5, 3 bombs.
And we were like, just a standing ovation at the end of that. Apollo too, great job. Apollo did awesome. He was getting the jokes. He was right in there. We had a quiet moment, and I'm like, Apollo, you got anything to add? And he's like, nope.
I was like, my dude. He'll sit in that dead air, and so will I.
Yeah. So this is just
Beau
a commercial. This is just like a little bit more of a commercial setup, so you can see multiple manifolds that are connected, in a line that are going to disperse to different containers. But essentially, I mean, that's the whole kit and caboodle right there. The only thing you're basically not seeing is the pump and reservoir. So again, you would just have everything going down those white PVC tubes up through the manifolds, and then delivered all the water and nutrients right into each one of the pots. This tall thing that's up here, in case you guys saw that was connected to the long white PVC, that's an air bleed valve. When you have multiple manifolds, I think they say like 3 or more manifolds connected to one line, you should just put in an air bleed valve. That way it makes sure that everything's getting everything
just like plumbing.
evenly.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, you can kind of
do
take
that
it
for
from
plumbing.
here, there, and everywhere. You can do it simple, you can do it complex. But I just thought this was a cool up close picture of, what we've been talking about and how it would actually look on your table at home.
Yeah, and this is a picture of yours, right? Because
No.
Oh, he stole this from Google.
I
Never mind.
thought about putting one in there, sneaking it. And I was like, nah.
No way. I ain't doing that.
So, this one's kind of cool, guys. So all you guys out there that are growing in soil, right? So this is how you can use this exact same system for your soil grows. So as you can see, there is a round caps this time on top of, I'm pretty sure that these are 5-gallon fabric pots that these plants are being grown in. And again, you just have the green manifold that has the lines that are coming out into each one of the plants. And then they just have this, time to come on whenever they need to water their soil plants with it. It's really as simple as that. So again, we can do soil, we can do hydroponics, we can do coconut, you can do anything
We're adults.
you want to.
We can do whatever the hell we want to now.
And all of the same parts, the only difference is your containers and those caps. Every other piece of the system is all the same. That's why it makes it so versatile, right?
Can I get everything I need from you?
Yeah.
So that's what I want to do. I want to go there, one swoop, and I want to try soil first.
Okay.
Like you said, try one soil, and then maybe we can move on to that.
I have a bag or two in stock, I think.
Couple, maybe
Just
one or two.
just one or two.
I'll dig some out of the backyard. I don't care, man. I got Mississippi River soil around.
If you guys go to our Instagram, you can see our last delivery of soil when we literally had a tractor trailer pull up, no top on it, and just bags, totes of soil, 1 cubic yard, totes of soil, just ridiculous. So yeah, if you guys want to see some soil, you can also check out our Instagram. We got a bag or two laying around the shop somewhere.
Few.
Dude, he talks about soil like Ravishing Rick Rude talked about ladies. You know what I mean? He's like, just soil just up to here. Ooh, that's how you know somebody's passionate.
You St. Louis sweat hogs.
You think you can
take
grow
a seat,
like this?
Take a seat and see what a real man grows like.
Yes, that's our next thing. Bo is Ravishing Rick Rude, a version of the grow world.
So it works for soil too.
Yes.
All the whole drip and that even had a top, like you said, circular, that's dispersing your elements.
Yep.
Or your nutrients, I'm sorry.
Definitely. So this is, kind of just more in practice. This is a larger home grow. This guy's growing 12 plants.
Is that what that is?
This is not a Missouri grow. Again, this is just straight taken off.
That's for the internet.
Yep. But I mean,
this is Craig's
if
house.
You have a shared facility. You and your lady, you and your man. If you have both are cultivators, you can definitely, it's 6 plants per patient, so you could be doing 12. And so with this, as you can see, I mean, this is a really nice home grow setup. They're using that exact setup again. So if you can see down in the bottom, there is 5-gallon fabric pots hooked up to the manifolds.
Oh my God.
And yeah, just the way they're going. So double layer of trellises, LED lights over the top. You got the fans. You can see in the back a mini split. So this is a very simple but very nice grow, in my opinion. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to share this picture off, is that, it's just, you can really do some really cool things by automating that water.
None of it looks crazy difficult, man. I mean, it's pretty simple PVC pipes and.
Yeah.
Greg, they've been growing stuff for years, man. That's what I always forget. I'm like, oh, the new technology of these lids, and I'm amazed. And they're like, hey, bud, you know where the food comes from that you eat, right? Like, huh? I didn't even think of that. Obviously, they've tried to figure out the best ways to get nutrients. And when we're talking about medicine and being able to grow high-quality stuff that you can squeeze rosin out of, that you can get the bubble hash out of, that's when we talked about concentrates and stuff, that's when we're talking about getting medicine to patients. A lot of people can get ease from their ailments through smoking and other things. But when you can grow with a system like this, and your end result looks like something out of a High Times magazine, you can really pat yourself on the back and go, okay, I'm contributing something to the world right now. I have become a little mini god, if you will. Growing,
Absolutely.
creating life. I'm connected to source when I do stuff like this. And all it takes is a little drip system.
Yep.
And it makes so much sense.
Yeah.
It really does. Like, once you get it dialed in, it makes absolute sense just out of our human minds to go, oh, plant needs sun and water. Club overhead woman, take back to cave, must water plant, must spread seed. You know what I mean?
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You guys
can also see how even this canopy is. So when we were talking about that too, about the automation and how everything's the same, look at that canopy. You hardly see one plant that's sticking up taller than another. You know, and so that in itself can also help you get better results. The more consistent your results are, the more you don't have to cater to the 1 week one, or, you know, or cater to the one good one. However that's going to happen, you know.
These are all
everything's equal. Yeah, everything's always consistently getting the same water, the same amount of water.
Are they putting these up before they're growing or after? Nets.
You kind of do it like same time. So like as they're growing up, they would kind of grow into it, and then you start to spread them out and try and create a bigger canopy.
Gotcha. That's what you're trying to do with both sets of those.
Yes.
Cool.
Definitely.
I mean, that you get me pumped every damn time. I just have to get in there, down in the Grove, Grand and Hartford, correct?
Tower Grove.
Yep. Did you say the Grove? Yeah, no, it's in Tower Grove.
I always
say
the
Tower Grove South.
I'm a Jefferson County.
You got the tower.
Boob. I don't know what. You know me. I'm stuck in Afton like a.
No, our Grove is better. We got a tower.
Yeah, man. Tower Grove Park. If you haven't been to Tower Grove Park, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah,
like that's a pretty sweet day going to see you and hanging out at Tower Grove Park.
Definitely come see me. Go to the farmers market on Saturday. Have some fun.
Farmers market.
Yeah.
Okay. I miss some.
I think they're doing some
COVID's got food truck Fridays all shut down and everything.
We're still doing them out here in Afton.
Are they?
Yeah, food trucks.
Because we don't care about
We
you.
don't care about anyone.
So,
are we ready to move to the next slide, or did I?
No, that was perfect.
Good.
So,
thank you.
Talking about big
decent.
plants, right? This plant's probably grown in a 1 or 2 gallon container, and you can see how big that got.
Good
My goodness.
Lord Almighty, dude.
Because again, the magic, guys, if you're going to take one thing away from this, it's that the magic happens in the drying.
In the drying.
Yes. And so with little containers, you can still grow big plants. You just need to make sure that they have enough water to become a big plant, right? So as you can see, I mean, this thing is
that's ridiculous,
looking large
dude.
and in charge.
What have I been doing?
It's just in a little old container with an automated watering system. So again, most people out there at home are growing in at least 3 or 5 gallon containers, some 7s, 10s, 15s in their soil. This is a 1 or 2 gallon container. The amount of money that you're going to save on medium is just astronomical alone. And you're not lugging all those, again, I'm in business of selling soil. I think we just covered that. But when you don't have to leave my shop with 10 bags, when you can do your whole grow with 2, right? Isn't that better for you? It's worse for me, but it's better for you.
Yeah, you're never gonna stay in business, pal. What's this guy? What's he doing, man?
Bo, let's get real here. I want to do this. It seems like you make it seem like something I can do.
You don't have the want to.
But here's the deal. Let me just lay it out there for you. I'm gone a weekend out of the month. Everybody in my house is gone. I got nobody I can. Is my grow gonna collapse if I leave to go camping for a weekend?
No, not at all. Not on an automated system. I mean, as long as everything is working properly.
Our friends have a lot of bullshit excuses.
Yeah, they do. Fuck them. You got a beep on me? Yeah. Sorry about that.
So now, granted, with that, I am in my garden every day.
Yeah.
I'm in my garden for a few hours every single day.
Yeah.
I'm going to finish up this show, and I have to go home and go to my garden and figure out how to eat dinner somewhere between then and bed, right?
Yeah.
You're like trying to give spoonfuls to his plants of like SpaghettiOs. Eat, little babies.
Here comes the airplane.
But with that being said, once you have that reservoir, right? The reservoir is the king. As long as your reservoir is, big enough to last you that amount of time, and everything, your components are working properly, then you just walk away.
Set it.
I don't touch my reservoir. I don't even really look at my reservoir now for 5 days at least, because
no
I know
one likes a braggart. Okay.
Well, I just know at this point that's when I'm getting low.
I'll check mine out in the
Right?
mirror.
But that allows
Check it out. Look at it.
But that allows me again to spend more time with my plants
on the drying,
because I don't have to worry about if they're going to get water or not. So again, it can free up time to do stuff for more stuff in the garden. It can lead to more time for you to do another hobby, for you to spend more time with the family, for you to go away, for you to
go camping.
Yeah, whatever. I am not a fan of hands-off cannabis growing. I think
But it wouldn't totally tank my grow if I had to go for a weekend.
No, not at all. You would probably come back and be ecstatic of all the growth that you got in those 3 days because you haven't been looking every 15 minutes.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Okay, so when you're saying the magic happens in the dry, that's when any time in between watering, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You're not talking about the dry, the cure at harvest.
No, that's something completely different.
Yes.
And we can talk about that on another show or something like that.
Okay.
I
just wanted to, I think they were maybe confused with that a little bit. But no, we're talking about those magical, out of your 12-hour cycle where you're 2.5 minutes.
Yes.
So that there's a lot of magic time besides those little watering times.
Exactly. So I'm talking about, again, yes, you are absolutely right. Nothing to do with drying or curing or anything like that. I'm talking about when your plant grows. Your plant is going to grow, in those drying periods. So
that's
it's
when
how
it's
many
getting everything.
times can you get it to dry out faster? With, and then that's the thing with hand watering is that you can't get it down to less than once a day or, unless you're home all day. But you know what I mean? That's just when it becomes a pain in the butt.
There's separation anxiety and a whole deal. It becomes a whole deal.
Yes,
okay.
whole deal.
We got any more questions? Is there any more hot points we want to hit before we wrap up?
I mean, we can hit another. Do I have any
I
more
think
slides?
So. Hang on, man. Let's just see what we got going on here, dude.
Okay, come on, Greg. Where you
Dang, dude.
He's got to minimize that one to really.
He's over there.
I have to put a little respect
I
on
know.
my name.
What is he doing? That's very unprofessional to be
I
like.
don't know where the hell.
Hey, baby, I can't believe
dude.
everyone's yelling at me because of this show. I'm sorry.
She's upstairs. You can talk to her after the show. You know what I mean? He's just he's a newlywed, so we got to give him some.
So.
Wow.
Yep.
Well.
So this is
What?
This is a top drip system. As you can see, they're still using the same caps. You probably don't. You can't see the manifolds because they're probably running down the middle of the table. But as you can see, these are the exact same pieces that you use in that system that is growing those giant plants. Those rock walls.
This isn't a double. This isn't a stack rack.
No, it is not. No, it is not. That is all one cannabis plant tall.
Is this a typical deal?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Like a typical commercial grow?
Yes, typical commercial.
yeah.
But again, the only thing that's going to separate you at that point is just the size.
Sheer quantity?
Yeah. Yep. What's the size of your table? These guys have really big tables. You know what I mean? You might really be able to fit
Dude, we saw tables at one of these cultivation facilities that were a football field long.
Yeah, exactly.
Like they went on forever.
And they had the little cranks that
Open the whole table up so they can move in between the plants.
Rolling benches. Ooh, other things I dream about.
They had a whole pulley system and everything. It was awesome.
They used to grow, what's the red plant?
Well, they grew mums back on poinsettias.
Oh,
yeah, poinsettias in that room. Yeah.
I was like, ooh, and now a weed? Just like my mom used to be getting poinsettias, and now she's
cannabis.
Smoking ganja.
Good for her. But so yeah, again, real quick, guys, just so you can see, you can grow massive plants with this same exact system.
Buddy.
These guys are using Rockwell cubes, these are probably 6x6x6 Rockwell cubes with one of those caps on the top. So they're not using that bottom pot because the Rockwell's their pot. But as you can see, you can grow very big plants with a very small growing medium. Yep.
That's crazy. I mean, more people need this knowledge. Like, tell your friends how easy it is, and grow and explore. And this could become a hobby in itself. You know, you said it creates more time when you get it simplified, but this is a great thing. People always say, get a garden. It'll help with stress. It'll help with all this other stuff. When you start to grow your medicine and you start to see yourself producing things like that, maybe you finally start believing in yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the
Yeah.
deal. Maybe that's a little kick in the nuts you needed.
Yeah. So you can do this. You can do anything.
You can do anything.
Hey,
Anything.
Beau, there was a question earlier on in the deal about the topsy-turvy method. Have you ever grown weed upside down?
I have not.
Do you know anybody that has?
I've had a couple customers back in the day play with it. Yeah,
Let's do that.
definitely.
Let's do it.
I think it's really cool. I've just never done it myself. But go play.
Yeah.
Like, have fun. That's one of those things to just go have fun with.
No, you gotta grow them right side up. Straight up. Straight up. What is this crap? What is this new age crap? My father did not fight in the big one.
So you grow your damn
weed
upside
upside down.
Damn right.
We got any slides of down tomato plants, or can you rotate one of those pictures just to set Beau off here?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Is that Beau in the white coat?
No, that was not me in the white coat, but we can go to that slide.
Okay.
So here in this slide, you guys can see this is kind of like everything all kind of like coming together here. So this is obviously, this is a vertical stack row. They're using those same containers with the manifolds. You can see that these racks go on for just about ever, it looks like from the picture here. And just, again, what you're able to do, you know, it's just...
That is a massive operation.
We actually, Craig, play the audio from that picture. Oh, no, go back to the picture. The picture has audio.
Oh, yeah, hang on 1 second.
There it is.
Hey, have you been numbering our devices here, Gary?
Oh, bro, have you seen these sunglasses I'm wearing? They make everything look super weird.
Rainbow Optics, free plug.
Gary, you need to. Do you even work here?
All right, the audio's done. I grow the weed, man. Of course I work here. Okay, so we've seen if you've taken a hit for every time Beau has said manifold tonight, you've successfully lifted about 3 to 4 feet off the air or off the ground at some point tonight. When you rewatch this, every time we say manifold, take a rip. Take a bong, a dab rip. Yeah.
Take a dab?
Take a dab every time we say manifold, manifold, manifold. Every time we say manifold.
Manifold.
Manifold will be the word.
Here's some more manifolds.
Well, there's a bunch of them. A lot of manifolds out there.
See this one? This manifold? Manifold?
All the manifolds are the same.
All right,
check it.
They're asking for a Hoosier challenge, a topsy-turvy cannabis Hoosier challenge.
Okay. We can do that.
Quantity per plant would be about the same. Do you see, when it comes to soil versus hydroponics, is it more of a taste difference? Is it a yield difference? Is it a both difference?
There's a both difference. Traditionally, so again, these are all go back and forth because traditionally hydroponics scientifically yields more than what soil does. Now I've seen soil guys who absolutely throw it down, and hydro guys have no idea what the hell they're doing, right? So they can definitely, you can get different results with anything at all. But typically hydroponics has
That's your
bigger
answer.
yields.
You can get different results with different stuff.
Basically. But hydroponics is generally higher yielding, right? Soil, you generally have better flavors, but at the same time, there is things that you can do to both that would increase both, right? So there is ways of
better flavors. I think the flavor would be more true to the terp profile without the soil. Fight me on that.
We'll put them up. So, because that's one thing that I struggle with is getting the flavors that I'm going for in my hydro system because you don't. No, I'm good. Because you don't have the earth. The earth is bringing all of those great flavors, all those organic inputs, all of those worm castings.
I think that's why I dig outdoor grown weed, man.
Yeah.
Who just said that? Was that Matthew McConaughey that just came? I think that's why I dig earthy tones, man.
Well, I don't like the tangies. I like cheesy, earthy weed. Like
you are speaking Terpanese right now.
Terpanese.
Yeah, I know. I like fruit.
We're totally hijacking Clay's show. It's good.
It's fine. It's what he signed up for.
So what I like to do in my system, and I said that I would come back to this earlier in the show, is that I like to use compost teas in my hydro system. Compost teas, to me, easy definition is liquid earth, right? So what I do is, because I can hand water these systems as well as have them hooked up to my drip system, I add compost teas. I hand water my compost teas once a week.
You son of a bitch.
Let the system take it over. That way I'm getting a whole bunch of really good microbial life in the coconut fiber that I'm using as a medium. I'm helping introduce that liquid earth. Compost teas also help break down residual salts from the fertilizers that I could be using, right? So that's a little tip for me.
That was what I was going to ask you next. I was like, what's the one little tidbit? And you kind of just laid it on us.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Is compost teas to me is a great, easy way to get that earth back around the roots of your plants in a hydroponic system.
Man.
Is it the
And
equivalent, the hydroponic equivalent to like living soil that everybody's always talking about when growing with?
Well, the compost tea is like the number one thing that you amend your living soil with.
Oh, okay.
So that's what you feed your living soil with is compost tea. So I'm feeding that directly to my hydro plants too. I just never let it touch my reservoir. So that my compost teas get hand watered into each one of those containers, and then it just drains right to the waste bucket, anything that comes out. So it never goes into my reservoir, so that it never really gets my reservoir dirty, introduces any microbials into my lines or into the manifold, right? Smoke.
Manifold time.
So that I'm not introducing any contaminants that could be, that could plague that system.
And there's such thing as too much too. Like you wouldn't want to do that regularly every day with the hand watering. Like that would be too much, right? Or no?
Well, hand watering is what we're getting away from by setting up the drip
with
system.
the compost tea.
Oh, well, again, so if you're doing soil, you could.
Yeah.
Right? But just once a week in hydro is getting enough around there that I'm getting the activity. Some of it's being stored in that medium that the plant can kind of go back to and keep kind of taking from. And it's just keeping those earthy elements around my roots, just for the plant to grab as it wants or as it sees fit.
What's your compost tea bagging method?
Thank
you.
Almost couldn't get that one out. So I use a really simple tea. So I kind of go back and forth between.
You're a simple guy, man. You're just put it out there. He's a
Makes it
simple
easy
guy,
on you.
grows good weed simply. Like, fuck, man.
There's a company out there called Sensational Solutions. They're a very small organic nutrient company, but they make a really awesome like instant tea. So a lot of compost teas you gotta like brew, and you gotta brew them for 24 hours. You put air stones in there and let it bubble and stuff like that. Yeah. This stuff is just you can just throw it in. Now, granted, it would be a little bit better if I bubbled it or did more stuff to it, right?
Yeah,
but
you're lazy.
Yeah, I'm lazy.
So I don't have time for that.
To take care of and stuff like that.
The drying time is the magic time, people.
So they have a really, really good just instant compost tea. I literally just mix it into a 5-gallon bucket and then just hit the plants with it, and then you're all good.
Spray them or?
No, just water it into the containers. But that's a really, really great product to use where you don't need to be doing a whole bunch of stuff to really brew it again. You know what I mean? There's a company called The Green Grows.
Do you have that at your store?
Yes, I do. Yep. There's a company called The Green Grows that they also make. They have 2 different products that you can put together to make their instant compost tea.
Okay.
And then we also have an in-house company that we work with called Humboldt Ag. And they also make a compost tea kit. Now, there's tons of compost tea kits out there and stuff like that. I personally go with the Sensational Solutions one, just because, again, it's just instant. It's done. It's over. It's in the plant. I can move on to doing something else.
House and Garden does make a compost tea.
They do not.
Yeah. I would have heard about it by now if they did. Craig?
Do we got another slide?
We got another slide or another?
No, I think that was the last of it, guys.
That was the last.
The guys on the ladder and the grow. We're a little over 2 hours into this thing. Probably a good time to recommend that everybody tag a friend that wants to win a gift card to GrowActive Solutions. All you got to do is tag a friend, write the word GROW, and they're going to be entered in for a $50 gift card, giving a couple of those away. And if you know a friend that needs a medical certification, tag their name right now and then write CERT, C-E-R-T, after their name. They're going to have a chance to get a free medical cannabis recommendation. It could be a cool thing to do. Share this if you'd like to. So, that's all I got, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah. No, Craig, you did a good job tonight, man.
Yeah, right.
You did a great job. You put in a lot of effort.
I'll tell you what, for everything,
the effort wasn't
for
not
everything
there.
turning upside down on us. These people have no idea what we salvaged after the frozen camera situation.
Yeah. See, a lot of pre-work goes into this.
Hours.
And then you do a little check beforehand, and you're like, yeah, things are working pretty good, but we're already running about 5 minutes late from all of our other stuff. Then you do it, and you hit record, and everything's like, it's like weird science in here. Instead of that chick showing up, it's Beau. We put something wrong in the computer, but at least he knows how to grow dank weed. You know what I mean? Like, she didn't know how to grow weed. You know what I mean? She might have had a great rack, but I'd take Beau any day.
I'm very complimented.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Everybody says where they're tagging them like crazy right now. Grace is going to stick with hydro. You really freaked her out with the compost tea. Keisha says thank you so much, guys.
Grace is a lover.
Don't forget Elgin Kohler 2020.
Was there any
Are there any more questions, guys? Because Beau will answer your questions right now. Don't take his intelligence for granted.
Yeah.
Aeroponics an option?
Oh, yeah. There was a question.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yes, aeroponics is an option. I used to run aeroponics back in the day all the time. Aeroponics is terrific. It's super fast at growing. The downside is just the sprayers. So sprayers can get clogged and stuff like that. And there's a lack of good aeroponic kits available to the home grower, and they're one of those systems that on the surface they're very easy to make, and I like watching people do their own DIY aeroponic systems, but it's one of those things that you're constantly having to reinvent, right? And then by that time you've spent well more than that box system. So like there's not a good system out there at the moment for me to like recommend, and they're very complicated to make at home. So it's like they're just in a weird like limbo at the moment for a good aeroponic system.
That's an opportunity, maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got one here. Reservoirs.
Yes.
What can you use as one?
A tote, a trash can, a 5-gallon bucket, cow trough,
Anything
pool.
that holds water and
yeah,
keep clean?
that's about the requirement. Is number one, right? Anytime you're growing cannabis, you should be using any plastics that you're using should be food grade. So let's start there. So food grade
Michael
plastics.
LePage.
That should be your main one. But from there, if it holds water, you can use it as a reservoir. There's pros to low profile wide ones so that maybe they can fit underneath your tables and you can use gravity just to drain. Then there's also advantages to having, more like stand tall and like, smaller footprint, like a trash can or something like that, because then it doesn't take as much water and fertilizer to actually cover that pump so that it pumps. Right? So,
Yeah, because you don't want it to be too spread out. That pump won't be able to pump.
Exactly.
Pump needs a certain water level to pump and to come out the manifold.
Steve
And
knows
here's
pumps.
here's your plumbing tip.
Listen,
for
guys,
him.
I know pumps. The one thing I
Steve.
know, it's pumping.
He's also a
Pumps over
hickory
here.
salesman.
I pump and dump. Oh, if there's one thing I do know, it's hickory wood. It's a good piece of hickory wood. He'll have a truckload by the time he leaves here. I guarantee that.
Nice.
Birch, get that shit. Out of
There
my
is another
face.
question here. Let's see
Maple?
here. Justin asks, if I do go with soil, how big of a pot should I use in a closet?
That's a loaded question. you can't really go wrong, right? So,
I do remember
bigger-
I think earlier he said he's trying to keep things fairly inexpensive if he can. So, like what's the best/minimum?
So, a lot
borrow a
of people
bunch of
grow
shit
in
from your
soil in
friends.
3 and 5 gallon containers, at least at the home grow level. Now, I will say that bigger containers can equal bigger yields, but there also is a point where you're not letting your plants get big enough to actually take up the amount of soil, like with root space, as what's in your container. So there is kind of like an equation there between how long you veg your plants for to equal what kind of container size that you should use. Without making this more complicated than what it seems, to answer your question, 3 to 5 gallon container, especially if this is your first run, that's going to be kind of the simplest one for you. So, and then you can get like 4 3-gallon containers out of a bag of soil. You can get like 2 or 3 5-gallon containers out of a bag of soil. So,
Follow-up question: do you believe in crystals?
Like the healing power of crystals?
Yeah. Yes.
Slightly, yeah.
I was just wondering if maybe put like a different crystal in each pot, see how much energy that kind of absorbs. You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy.
I'm not doing that. I would do no such thing.
I don't want to
your question.
I don't want to offend anybody and say that that's like some hippie stuff, because I do
It
know
is.
people
I
that
believe
do
in
it.
I believe.
And
Well,
there
I've
is
been
some
around
people
them. They got
that
vibrations,
that
and I was just thinking with
swear
the
by
whole thing going down, I'm trying to think of a better medium than even the
What if you
coconut
use structured water in the hydroponics?
That's what I'm talking
like
about.
Our friends do.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like, there's different ways to fine tune this process to really. You don't get to do much experimenting with your fine tuned method. You know what I mean? Like, you don't really want to add too much to one or another. To where that's kind of one of the things that you could do if you're not going to choose this method. You could be like, oh, I'm going to add a little bit more of this to this, a little bit more tea, or I mean, really, it wouldn't be too hard to have a 2 pumps and having like 2 side-by-side systems and kind of running which one. That way, at least you're getting kind of running your own little study in your space and playing. Like you said, go out there and grow like the pros and have a good time, man.
I have what I call the TerraDome. And the TerraDome is a 4x4 tent that I either crack all my seeds in or experiment with different growing methods, nutrients, mediums, the whole
Sleep
9.
in it sometimes just for fun.
But like the whole thing with like with the TerraDome, especially like when I'm starting new seeds and stuff like that, you got to make it through the TerraDome to make it into the real garden. You know,
That's
I gotta
awesome.
see what
That's
you're
why we like
made
Beau.
of. They come out, the seeds are all beaten. Like, I made it through the Terra. So it's like my little
Put that in a
pheno
song.
hunting experimenting station.
We got a lot of people putting crystals in their plants and singing to them, playing music for them.
Oh yeah, see. So
I was just wondering. I think they could draw
I think
in
there's
some
something to it.
energy.
I'm definitely not against it.
Because in this system, you're trying to kind of keep things there as long as you can. Like you said, you don't want to be like, here's a bunch of water and nutrients. And it's like, oh, it all came out the bottom. What's the deal?
Yeah.
Like, I've trained my body to live without water.
Oh, I know.
So, like, when I just get little bits from the air, and I only need to water myself for about 2.5 minutes a day. For real. I'm just like, I'm a weed plant.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
He gets into the shower. That's his drip system.
Yes, it
2.5 minutes. Calls
Yes.
it quits.
I'm out.
Yep. That's it.
And I get my nutrients.
Yeah.
What are the best fertilizers to use?
So, fertilizers.
Poop.
So with hydroponics, so again, I don't. You guys know who
Spit
I
it
like?
out,
Okay,
Beau.
yeah.
What's the best one? House and garden.
So, yes, but no. So, again, House and Garden to me is a very good nutrient company. But the real facts are, if the bottle says grow, 9 times out of 10, it's going to grow. If the bottle says bloom, 9 times out of 10, it's going to bloom your plants, right? So, really, my whole thing when you're really picking out a nutrient is the quality of what's going inside of them and what they're made of. So are they salty? Do you get salt buildup on your soil? Do you get it around the tops of your containers? It's really, that's really what makes the difference. It makes a difference, the quality of nutrients that's going into that nutrient that your plants are going to be able to absorb. So again, there's tons of great nutrients out there on the market. Let's see, House and Garden, Cutting Edge, BioBiz, Floraflex.
I like Floraflex's
you name
stuff
it.
there, man.
The
Is that a
table
pretty
setups are
is that a
Reputable
name
brand.
well known?
It's getting to be well known.
is?
Yes.
Okay, because they look like they had their stuff on point. I like their website. I mean, we gave them a free plug tonight.
No doubt.
Evolution Mag, Hoosier Sophisticate, giving them a free plug. Remember us.
Yep.
Remember us. Or don't, whatever, man. I don't know.
So,
I
but
don't care.
Again, with the nutrients, it's hard for me to say what is the best, because the best is going to be, number one, you have to find a nutrient that goes in line with the way that you want to grow, or how and why are you growing? Are you growing to be organic, right? Then you don't want to pick any nutrient that's not organic, right? So what's the best of the organic nutrients? What's the best of a blend of organic and salts? What's the best salts? What's the best hydro? What's the best soil? What's the best, right? So there's a whole lot of factors that goes into what is the best. So I can't just pick one.
Well, that's
because
good. It
depends on
sounds like
what
there's
you-
a lot of good options rather than like,
Yeah.
good luck, man. It's hit or
doubt.
miss.
Yeah,
No
it's just a
doubt.
conversation that we need to have, me and the grower, the viewer, right?
Yeah.
It's just a conversation that we need to have so that I can say, yo, do you want to be organic or don't you care? Do you want to?
Do you like the earth or do you hate everyone?
It's
Which
not
is it?
necessarily that.
I'm kidding. I know. I just.
But so that
I
just
would
goes
not get
into
organic.
just it's not a cookie cutter system. Nothing about gardening is cookie cutter. There's no one answer that covers everything that
Except your
encompasses
entire
everybody.
grow system is pretty much a cookie cutter of plants. Same size, same water, same base, same cookie cutter.
Just the different size of cookies.
And the cookies grow over
The
time.
cookies
That
become
oven,
different size.
That's actually the best oven of all time.
These plants are just unreal.
I mean, that's a yield there, buddy.
That's a big yield.
That's a yield.
There's one last question, and then, guys, we're about 2.5 in.
Yeah,
So
I got a
wrap this
family.
thing up.
Yeah.
What do you think of a DWC bucket?
They're great. They're the easiest ones to make at home. And they're the way that most people get into hydroponics in general. So DWC is great, but it is 100% the first thing that you will grow out of in the hydroponic.
Okay.
So get it, do it. It's cheap. It's easy. It's gonna get your feet wet. It's gonna get your roots wet. But again, there's just inherent flaws with the DWC system that. Generally, that is the first thing that you're going to transition out of, as far as the hydro system goes.
Okay. I'm excited because I'm going to get the stuff. We're going to come up there. We'll do a little filming, have some fun. Get Apollo talking like the chatterbox that he is.
I think we have a friendly little competition between the two of us.
Oh, I'd love that.
I think
We'll
it
each
would
go
be
in there
fun.
and get our stuff.
I think it would be fun. Maybe somebody can bring like a purple unit or something and test our medicine afterwards.
okay.
See who grows. That'd be pretty
Okay.
fun, right?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Let's do it. Right?
Let's do it. I challenge you, sir.
You were just talking about duels on your Facebook Live today.
I meant it.
I know. You have to look at me like
duels
that.
should come back.
So before we end, real quick,
Bo,
can I-
thanks
can
for
I-
every. Yeah, go
Can
ahead.
I do
Say.
2 things real quick? Of
course.
I got one thing I want to say and one thing I want to plug or whatever, right?
Okay.
So, number one, I do want to say thank you to the sponsors of this.
No doubt.
For having us
People
keep
sponsor
going with
this?
this. Yes. Yes, people do sponsor it. We got some new sponsors and stuff like that.
It's exciting.
It's your bomb.
And
Yeah,
they're
they
the
pay
ones,
the bills. We get it.
They're the
We
ones that
love you
make
guys.
this all happen. Personally, I want to thank Humboldt Green Events and the Waters Lab.
No doubt.
Humboldt Green Events really helps us out with a lot of the cannabis competitions and stuff like that we do. Our event day that we had at the store back in January, we had like 4 days of vendors and sales and this, that, and the other thing, right? Pre-COVID.
Yeah,
right?
I know. That pre-COVID world sounds beautiful. I wish I could have been there.
And then Waters Lab, which is also going to be Green Orchard Labs, that's here in Missouri. They are a lab that's going to be getting up in place for cannabis testing lab that is going to, they're really going to try and accommodate to the home grower.
Good, because Steve and I are going to test our grows in there, and I'm going to win.
It's going to be like 50%, bro. First ever.
Damn right. So I just wanted to say that thank you to those guys because I really wanted to
thank
keep
you,
doing
for real.
this stuff.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I love doing these classes, and so thank you to all the other sponsors too. I know we got another new one, which was like Taproot Ag.
Yeah.
So thank you to them as well. But like I said, a big shout out to Humboldt Green Events and also for the Waters Lab. Those are also really, really good friends of ours. And to roll right into what I want to plug, Humboldt Green Events is going to be doing, and we've talked about this a little bit, but we're really getting close to announcing the new cannabis competition. So the 4-state cannabis competition that we're going to be doing, it's going to be California versus Colorado versus Oklahoma versus Missouri.
Let's go.
And we're going to have an auto grow-a-thon. So everybody in those 4 states are going to get autoflower seeds, the exact same seeds from the Humboldt Seed Company. So in all 4 states, everybody's going to get those same seeds. And then there's also going to be a bring your own bud to be judged. Yeah. And we actually have a team of judges that will be traveling to all the states and judging this competition. And it's the first of its kind. Nobody else.
I cannot wait.
Nobody
for this
else
kind
has
of
done
shit.
this. And so we're really excited to.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be real fun.
Yeah. We're excited to be doing this, and we're excited to have such a great team of people who want to do this with us and are supporting it. So everybody be on the lookout for that. If you do not follow CannaFest, which is it's CANNI Fest.
Okay.
That's a great place. To just stay up. Also, GrowActive is going to have all the info about the competition. So that one's really cool. And then the last thing, I promise, so you guys can get back to your families, is I also, hopefully by next time, so Green Bros, as you can see here on our website, we've got a really cool thing happening with the Green Bros, which they're the ones who made the dry ice extraction machine that we used last time.
That was awesome.
Yes, that thing is really, really cool. And I thought, it was really fun to show it off on camera. The Green Bros thought that it was really cool that we showed it off on camera. And hopefully, the August episode right now for this class is hydroponics. But we could switch it at the last minute and might get some more Green Bros products to show off. So
people were so engaged with every part of that process, including myself being a part of it. But I had people messaging me the following morning like that looked it was so satisfying to see the press work, the Sasquatch work, and just slowly push that rosin out of the. I couldn't believe how easily the keef was extracted.
Oh, with that box,
with the box,
dry
and
ice.
even with us shaking it.
Unbelievable.
Even with us shaking it, like the yield was it was unbelievable.
Same deal. I had more messages after that episode, our episode last week, than I've had after anything we even really do.
What's that all about?
Which making me think now. We got to bring Beau in.
Thank you to everybody who supported that show.
Yeah,
because that was a really
awesome,
big turnout for, I think, all of us. For
the
whole Grow at Home series, for Hoosier Sophisticate, for GrowActive. We had a ton of fun doing it. I think that really came out in the episode, and so we want to continue to do more of these. Like I said, I got a couple tricks up my sleeve, a couple things that I'm working on, and hopefully we can get all of that in place by the show in August and
We'll make it
we'll
happen.
have some cool Green Bros stuff going on. And then we can really show you guys how some of this stuff works.
That was a.
If you do not know about the Green Bros, go check them out. They make crazy stuff for the cannabis industry.
Dude, it was so cool.
Yeah, it really brings a scientific element to and like an engineering level. Because weed ingenuity,
Weed ingenuity.
always has been amazing. You know, like even
Gongenuity?
I like that.
Oh,
Listen, we could do
Phrase
this all
coin.
night. But that was really good. I don't know if I'm trying to think of a better one.
Real quick, while you're thinking of that, Evolution Magazine, thanks to this month's sponsors, MoGreenCard.com, Taproot AG, and MCIA, and Mark Paracchini with Paracchini Law, who are taking over the show next week with free legal advice for cannabis businesses, home growers, and patient caregivers.
Dogenuity.
What?
Dogenuity.
That's lame.
yeah.
I call
try
it
better.
Stinky Doja.
So go follow this Instagram. Go follow the GrowActive Instagram. But this is where you can find all the details about the new competition that we got coming up. Plus, usually on Fridays at 6:20 here in Missouri, which would be 4:20 in California, I'm usually on IG Live with my buddy Steve from CannaFest.
Nice.
And we do like a little 15-minute Beau knows type of segment, and then it rolls into a bigger conversation for the day. So
Cool.
if you guys want to get more of me, and who wouldn't?
I do.
Right? This is another place where you can get more Beau knows.
I'm gonna lock you up in my basement.
Guys, I'm gonna
Shut it down after that?
I think it's probably a really good idea to listen to the law team from Paracchini Law. We got a little commercial from them. We might want to just introduce our fans to a good lawyer.
Have you recently been injured in a car accident or workplace-related incident? Well, I'm not here for that.
Hang on.
Are you a cannabis business, home grower?
The begining was suspenseful.
I know. I didn't know that it was going to go that hard.
Yeah.
So I got to be honest with you. Here is a message from. That was the. I mean, I was feeling that.
Me too.
All right, here we go.
Have you recently been in a workplace-related incident? Well, I'm not here for that. Are you a cannabis business, home grower, or patient caregiver needing legal advice? Well, now we're talking. Make sure to tune into our live show with the Evolution Magazine on Thursday, July 30th to get all your legal questions answered on our live streaming show sponsored by Missouri's first Cannabis Industry Association, MCIA, and yours truly, Mark Paracchini at Paracchini Law.
Paracchini Law ain't messing around. The
only thing he missed was like a.
I was waiting for just a.
Yeah, dude. He's gonna break a board at the end of that.
That dude's my lawyer.
A cannabis stalk.
He doesn't
breaks
even know
a cannabis
yet,
stalk. He does like a Jean-Claude Van Damme like kick.
Yes.
To a big cannabis tree instead of a bamboo tree.
I think he's a friend of cannabis, man.
I know, but when you're done with it,
harvest time.
Yeah,
it's karate kick.
Yeah.
The
Fair
whole
enough.
tree just snaps and grabs by the base.
Bo gets it.
Man.
He knows how to shoot a law commercial.
Let's wrap this thing up, boys.
Guys, thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.
Beau, Craig, myself. We hope you learned a little something. And if you didn't, if I talked over Beau too much tonight, which I know I did,
Or I was too scattered.
go see Beau. Honestly, he's a kind-hearted guy who's really willing to take his passion and spread it out. For real. That's why we enjoy his company so much. For reals. We have sponsors. We have people we're beholden to in this industry. Beau is a sweetheart.
It's fun to work with friends that you know are looking out for you.
Totally. It's like our sponsors. We got a roofing guy, insurance guy, and they're like, why? It's like, no, these are all just sweetheart human beings
that you want to do business with.
That we're trying to cultivate. Our friends just have businesses. It's good for them. It's good for us. But go see Beau in Tower Grove.
Tower Heights neighborhood, I guess technically, but yeah, Tower Grove South.
I can't get it right.
I don't know.
Grand and
Towers
Hartford.
Groves and Heights all over.
But the store will actually like knock your socks off when you go in there. It's set up so well, and
Smells
it makes you feel right at home as far as comfortability. Getting into this process, which seems like it's over your head, it is not. I guarantee it. We're gonna film a little bit more of this. Check out next Thursday. Follow Evolution. Follow Casey Weed blog. Nate on cannabis.
Godhead Development. Cat King Films. Missouri Cannabis Network.
It's the C team.
Taproot.ag or Taproot AG.
Yeah, the C team media.
It just feels
Taproot.org.gov.
Feels futuristic doing it, bro.
That's pretty cool, man. Thank you for listening, playing along. Follow Beau on all. Give them their socials
Instagram,
one more time.
GrowActive Solutions.
Give them your phone number one more time. Personal.
314-899-0179.
Is that the store number?
That's the store
Mother's
number.
maiden name.
Damn it.
First
so
pet's name.
four social, last four of the
Street
social.
you grew up on.
Guys, thank you so much. Craig, take us out of here for tonight. Bye.
Take it easy, guys. Thank you.
DJ Shabba.
Hey, ladies.
I'm gonna smoke a little weed, boy. I wanna grow some trees, boy. When I grow all the weed that I smoke, and I blow all the trees that he grows, and I smoke all the weed that I grow, and I grow all the trees that he smokes. Well, I'm growing and I'm smoking, so I go see Beau. And I smoke what I grow, yeah. GrowActive Solutions. And I'm growing the Hydro.
Beau knows how.